Hey guys, Cotton Grammar Assimilation webinar. We have an incredible webinar for you tonight. I literally believe that this webinar is just going to alter the face of OMG when you find out what we've discovered and how you can go out and make money this easily online. And if anything you've known about assimilation webinar, guys, give me a 1 if this is your first assimilation webinar, because I know that we have a lot of new OMGers. Give me a 1 if this is your first one. We're getting quite a few ones. And guys, just to give you a little brief kind of description of what assimilation webinar is, simply, in my opinion, this is my opinion, by bar none, it's the greatest SEO webinar on the planet. We go in your face, tell you the truth. We don't hide anything back. Give the information that works now. No BS. We talk about what works. And you're going to find out that if you've just started, if you go back and watch everything from Greg Morrison, and if you watch everything assimilation webinar, you are caught up to date in the most cutting edge information possible with internet marketing. There's a lot of fakes out there, but I'm telling you, Derek and I and all of our guests, we literally work all week long feverishly to give you the best information possible. And you're going to find that anything that we have on here, we make sure works. We don't do anything in theory. Everything is based upon science, results, and that's what you're going to get every single week. The good news, guys, is this is actually mid-season. We took a break last week to wrap up half of the first year of assimilation webinar, and we are marching on to the second half of the year. And I literally believe that at the end of this webinar, that we're going to open up your eyes. There's things that you've never knew existed with online marketing, and I'm excited to share that with you. But the first hour, we're going to do questions and answers to get all of your questions and answers out there and help you get through any sort of problems that you might have. So every assimilation webinar normally goes about an hour, or if we have a lot of important topics, we might even go a little bit over and answer questions. It's followed up by generally a lesson, and sometimes we even have special things after the webinar just for the people that attended live. So be prepared for that. There might be a hashtag after credits. So guys, I want to introduce my guests and say hello to them this evening. My good buddy and my partner, Derek Owasiak, who's been on all but one assimilation webinar since we started. How you doing, Derek?
Doing great, Colin. How about you?
Great. Did you enjoy your week off from assimilation last week?
Oh, yeah. It was good to get some extra work done, but always glad to be here. So
Great. And my good friend, and you're going to find out quite a bit more about her this evening, is Liz Herrera. How you doing, Liz?
I'm doing great, Cotton. How about yourself?
Always great. Man, Liz, we had a very, very long weekend, didn't we?
Absolutely. It was so much fun. I had so much fun meeting everybody at OMG Assimilation. It was like just probably the best one, actually. Most fun I've had.
Yeah, definitely. Guys, just to give you a little recap of, if you haven't been able to make it out to some of these assimilation tours, man, I mean, not only are we bomb dropping, you have people like Stephen Floyd had people surrounded around him. I had people surrounded around me. Mike's got people surrounded around him. Liz had people surrounded around her. People literally wanting information and knowledge right there on the spot. But not only that, we are there to have fun. And generally we stick around for 3 or 4 hours. And after that, we have our fun. Well, we started out Thursday night with Calvin Harris, marched into Friday, Cascade, Saturday night, Tiesto, and I ended it off with Above and Beyond on Sunday. Flew back Monday. I was actually gone for, I believe, 11 days. I never came back from Los Angeles. So our next tour date is going to be in Phoenix, Arizona on August 8th. And if you haven't had an opportunity to make one, I would definitely show up. It's definitely worth its weight in gold. There's no charge. And all we just do is just show up and just kind of a social and kind of bomb drop with people and network. And then we just have a good time afterwards. So everyone's welcome to come. We're also going to be doing Chicago in August and Miami. We have one other date that we've yet to kind of nail down. I'll talk with Mike and Liz and then see what they're comfortable with, probably towards the end of September, and that's going to be in New York City. And that's about as far as we've got so far. So you've got 4 assimilation webinars that you can attend if we're in your area. what I'd like to know is just out of curiosity, guys, we are going to be in the OMG Way group. That is the free group. And I want you guys to give me a hashtag where we should go next. Now, I've told you, just out of curiosity, we might not ever make it there, but you know where we've already been, and now you know where we're going. Phoenix, Chicago, Miami, New York City. Give me a hashtag if there's some other place that you'd like for us to be. Gives us an idea. Maybe we can continue this on once every couple months or something. We can do one of these, but would just love to see the interaction of where you guys would like for us to go next, because everyone that's been to it has an amazing time. I know Derek was able to join us in Dallas, and he had an amazing time. I know Becker took us out afterwards, and we're seeing back to Dallas, Portland, Seattle, Gold Coast, Boston, Atlanta. See a lot of Londons in here. Honolulu. Hey, that might be a good place to go, Liz. What do you think?
Yeah, I would love to go to Hawaii. Definitely. Count me in for that one.
Right. Looks like there's a lot of Londons. And I do know that I'm going tomorrow to apply for my passport from pressure from Liz and Mike, because you guys are really wanting to do a London assimilation, aren't you? Yeah, Liz?
Oh, I definitely am. I'm all about London. I'm actually going to be there, so.
Wow. And so what's your time frame you're going to be there?
I'm going to be there the 3rd week of September, I believe.
Oh, wow. It's pretty quick. So hopefully.
I think you can get it, Cotton.
We're going to see. I might have to slip a couple hundreds to some of these guys over there. See what.
Yeah, check out David Fripp. Get a passport.
Mm-hmm. Derek, you down for London?
I'd have to pass that one through the wife, I think, but
yeah.
Never even been off this continent. Yeah.
Yeah. Guess what? Neither have I.
Yeah.
So neither have I. So definitely ought to be interesting. We've got some New Zealand's and some San Francisco's, and Scott, chances are we can always do another Orlando. It's in my backyard, so there's always
Winnipeg. Come on.
Winnipeg. It's a super hot area. If we can get one person besides yourself to type in Winnipeg, we could definitely do that one. So
I'll have a barbecue.
Right. Guys, just do me a favor, because it's always encouraging for Derek, Liz, myself, Mike, Stephen, Floyd, Fletch, Joe, all the people that have actually been there. What we would like to see is if you get the chance, either in the OMG Way or in the OMG group, can you tell us if you actually showed up to an assimilation tour, what you got out of it and what it meant to you, or if you got anything at all? If it cool was to meet other people or whatever. We'd like a little bit of feedback so we know, or what you'd like to see more of. We want to make sure that when you show up, you have an amazing time and that you walk away feeling better about OMG than ever before. That's what a lot of these for. So generally, a lot of the people had an awesome time in Las Vegas. And so, hold on, let me go back to where we were. But yeah, just kind of write something up for us if you could. Let us know, and that'll help us out tremendously. And what we can do with some of these events and some of the things that we can do for future ones. But what we'll do right now is let's just jump right in. Let's make sure that everyone can hear me. Give me a 1 if you can hear me. Be a little late now after we've been recording it for this long, so great. What we're going to do is just jump into the questions right now and go from there. And guys, I really believe that by the end of tonight, that how you viewed making money online is going to be altered forever. So stay tuned for that. And also, I can't promise you, but as of right now, we are going to have an after credits. So definitely you'll want to stay around for that. And this is going to be a jam-packed webinar from the beginning to the very end. So jump right into it. This one's going to be a question for you, Derek. It says, how do we silo our SEO site if we're already built our site and sent a few links to some internal pages?
Sure. So you're basically just going to silo the website like you want to and plan it out. And then you're just going to use a simple plugin to do 301s from the old URLs to the new top of the silos or the most related page. And if you're using Yoast Yoast already has a redirect plugin already built into it. So other than that, there's dozens of them, but it's pretty easy. You just kind of set it up the same way you want it to. Sometimes you can work off the existing structure already if your pages were nice and short, or it's basically the topic you're trying to do, and you could just set up sub pages from there. So I think we did it. No, we didn't do a full demo on that, but you can figure it out. It's pretty easy.
Sounds like we covered that one. We'll move on to the next one. It says, can a single page of a site be penalized? I have a contractor site siloed as best as I know, and one of the pages in the silo seems to have been de-indexed.
Okay. Just looking at the URL there. Kitchen remodeling Silberts. Yeah, you can definitely get a single page penalized, especially for Panda, but if it's de-indexed, you could have done so many different things. I don't know, you could have had just have the meta tags set up improperly and you have it no indexed, or check the thin content on it. Sometimes it might be considered duplicate content, so I'd have to really actually check individual pages to see on that, but other than that, you just might not have enough links to it. But it should be getting indexed if it's properly in the sitemap at least, and if it's showing up in your RSS, it usually shouldn't have a problem. So if you want to show me in Facebook later on, I can take a look at it.
Great. And we have a shout out from Los Angeles. For some reason, everyone in Los Angeles wanted to know how to rank with penalized websites, and for some reason we called it Dirty Juice. So we got a hashtag Dirty Juice from Ryan W. So I had to give a shout out to him for that. We laughed about that all night long, actually. Liz knows what I'm talking about. We're doing hashtag Dirty Juice. Next question is, what's the best video sitemap to use or plugin to generate one? The Google XML sitemap for videos is 3 years old. Wondering if there's something you guys would recommend.
I've been using the Yoast video one, so I don't know. I think it's a free one.
I use the same thing, so it's all good. Looks like Heidi's having issues, so she wants to let us know that she's having issues. So, okay, we know, Heidi. Hopefully you'll get some back. It says, hey Liz, do you know of any apps equivalent? We got to skip that because that's one of the things that we're going to discuss. It says, hi Cotton, how are things, boss? They're going amazing. Let's see here. Ones. It says, where do you find the material on how to sell Amazon.com on OMG? I don't know, but we can find out for you, or you can email omg@omgmachines.com and they can tell you. I haven't had an opportunity to look through the Amazon stuff to know where it is, and if you just scroll down through the menu there, I'm sure you'll find it. Just you got to dig in. Half the thing about knowing OMG is to dig in and know where everything's at from where it is. That's exactly what I done when I got started. It says, no one, does anyone help? How would you know whether a product has a patent or not so you don't get sued?
The main thing is to just start searching patents for a particular product. Like, let's say, for example, earlier today I saw somebody showed me some of those water balloons that, those water balloons that you can fill up 100 at once with the hose, the extension from the hose. Mm-hmm. So basically, in order to find something like that, I would just search like water balloon patent. Just use the keyword and then patent and start seeing what you find. In the case of that one, upon searching, there was an as seen on TV company, and immediately upon clicking on that link on the site, it said patent pending. So you sort of just have to like search around and hunt around. And really, if you want to be like 100% safe, if you have a product and you think it could possibly have any patent issues, like you're already selling one, then I would obviously recommend to consult an attorney, but pretty much it's just using Google search. There's also a Google patent search. If you just Google that, it'll come up and you can search patents based on keyword.
Great. Thank you, Liz. And it looks like the next question is going to shoot right back at you. It says, is there a way to bring an Amazon product back from the grave? 6 sales at launch with 5-star reviews, then nothing. I want to raise capital with this product and then move on to something else. This product is an iPhone 6 case.
iPhone 6 cases are very competitive, so you sort of have to be willing and ready to pump a lot of money into them. It's going to depend on a lot of different factors. I would have to see the listing, but first and foremost is how many 5-star reviews. So, I mean, I would probably recommend he just shoots me over the listing through private message and I take a look at it. But it could be a lot of different factors that are affecting him.
Great. So Liz says just shoot it over to her. She'll take a look at it. We got a Derek, what's up, from Chris Lee. Another what's up for Derek. And next, good deal. And another question for Amazon. It says, if a number one seller in a niche is selling 100 units a day on Amazon, how many units should I blast per day? And for how many days to get that number one spot on Amazon for the main keywords? Also, should we use super URLs?
So it just is really going to depend on what niche it is. If you know for a fact that they're selling 100 units, then you sort of have to equal his sales velocity. But ranking doesn't just depend on the sales velocity. It depends on a lot of other factors. So you're just going to have to sort of like test it out. I would start off by maybe trying to do daily giveaways on something like Viral Launch, where you're giving away 10 a day or 5 a day, whatever you can sort of afford to give. At some point, you'll start to break even with a number of organic sales, and then again, at some point, you'll start to break over that if you continue to do that. And what was the second part of the question?
Should you use super URLs?
In terms of super URLs, the more and more data that I'm collecting, I'm showing that super URLs are a bit overrated. So I'm actually switching to canonicals, but I won't actually have sufficient data for maybe about another month or two. But I certainly believe that super URLs are being overused, and I'm starting to do the opposite of that and just using canonicals.
Great. Then if you guys are going to be following me on the questions, it's going to be moving a long ways down for all the other stuff. It says, for Cotton, do you use proxy or VPN to create Google Plus local pages for all your SEO clients? And I'll be honest with you, I very rarely have a client that doesn't have a Google Plus page up. But if I did, I would use proxy. So I don't have VPN, don't have any use for it, don't do any tools or anything like that. So that's just me. But, VPN will work just as fine. Next question is, what's the silo plugin called again? Derek, that's Easy Silo Builder, isn't it? Derek, are you there? Or do we lose him? Oh,
Looks like we lost him.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. I just muted myself.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's what it's called.
Yeah, it's an Easy Silo Builder. So you can just look for that. We've aired it on past webinars and other stuff. Next question.
It's on OMG software.
Yeah, it is.
The URL.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, if you ask in the Facebook group, someone will tell you where to get it right away. It says, if I buy an expired domain and it's de-indexed but doesn't look penalized, should I buy it? What do I need to do to get it re-indexed? Derek.
Yeah, usually they're going to be fine, and you just have to really put content up and just kind of bring it back to life. Usually if it has existing links to it, it's usually enough to get it going, and I just put some fresh content on it or recreate it, whatever you want to do. And then if you add some social to it, Google will catch on quite quickly. And if it was like a money site, you can even submit it into Webmaster Tools for your sitemap, and that'll get it crawled instantly. So
great. Next question is for you, Derek. It said, Derek, what's the most effective way to increase domain authority on PBNs?
Spam.
How about other PBNs?
The most effective way is doing, usually just, you can include it in your DAS stacks, and that's the best way, just building new links. It's just like everything we taught in OMG so far, it all goes towards building more domain authority. So I wouldn't build PBNs to have PBN, but at least, do your Tumblrs and stuff like that. Not Tumblr maybe, but Weebly, those kind of sites. Those are all going to increase your domain authority. So
Great. Next question is, any chance of interviewing a high-paying client on one of these webinars to get into their decision-making process for choosing SEO or internet marketing service provider? Absolutely not. Next question. It says, any guidelines for working with a customer's directory site? He is connecting customers to suppliers and getting a commission. So basically his own lead gen, but he's not an SEO guy. He has suppliers in about 30 cities. It's not WordPress, but I'm guessing Silo it. Do you understand that, Derek, or did you find the question? Or do you need me to read it again?
I see it. Any guidelines for working with a customer's directory site?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I don't understand what they're trying to accomplish though. So
That's okay. We'll just skip it, guys. Unfortunately, sometimes questions don't come coherent to us, or we don't understand. Reach back out and message one of us after the webinar, and we'll do our best to try to answer the question for you if we don't understand what you're saying, to be more clear. It says, what do you like to use to get links you build indexed? Do you recommend any link indexing services? Derek.
I still do. Sometimes I use Incredible Indexer, or I think the other one's Instant Indexer, but I really don't use them very often. I usually just use Social Explosion or any other kind of social service from there, and then or just send some links. A link is the best way to get anything indexed. So.
Mm-hmm. Great. It says if you re-silo in 301 the old links to the new silos, is it safe to rescue the old post text as new posts?
Yes.
Great. It says, can you do anything about the audio? Don't
Maybe
know.
log out and log back in.
Yeah, that would be about it. Guys, give me a number 5 if you're hearing me clearly. Yeah, we're getting too many clears. Yeah, no. Everything seems to be good. So, great. Yeah, log out and log back in. You should be good. It says here, let me find out where we just were here. Okay, it says, what are you doing with your PBN when their backlinks are all or almost all deleted after a while? Do you build new backlinks to the PBN? Do you use it anyway? Or do you delete, sell it, and set up a new one or something else? So basically, they're saying that the site's brand new. It has no links. Well, I don't...
Well, I mean, if you buy a PBN and all the links are deleted,
All right.
you probably shouldn't have maybe bought that one, or you might have overpaid for it. But I mean, PBNs do lose their links over time. I mean, they're gonna go. Webmasters are gonna see a link to your site, and they're gonna click on it. Like what? It's a lot of people aren't setting up 301s back to the home site or home page, and so they're gonna know something's up with that link, and then it's just going to happen. So, I mean, I always build links to my PBNs, but most people just put everything on the homepage and, just let it ride out and just replace it with a new PBN. So
Great. Got a question for Liz. Liz, how can you sell a product in an Amazon category that is custom and twice the price of their products?
Well, you obviously got a pretty good USP there, the fact that it is custom. Now it just depends on what kind of custom product. Like, I mean, earlier, I know Mandy Payne posted that her dog got like a custom drawing, and it was like $50 compared to other things, and that's like really cool USP. So by USP, I mean unique selling proposition. So you just have to sort of show that it's a lot more unique than the other products that are out there. So that's pretty simple to do when you have a really good product.
Mm-hmm. Great, thank you. It says, hi, Cotton and Liz. Nice meeting you in Vegas. Mike mentioned training on entering Amazon foreign markets. Do you know if that training is coming soon? Thanks. Just to let you guys know that Mike is going to be holding Amazon webinars or acceleration webinars, whichever he's going to do. Assimilation is strictly going to be SEO unless we have a special guest on like Liz. So I wouldn't know that, but Liz might, so we'll ask her because she's here.
I haven't actually heard anything about that. I'm not sure if they're talking about Europe, but I certainly right now just specialize in USA. I haven't even bothered going into Europe because there's just too much stuff left to get in the USA. So I think if he has any plans for that, I'm not certain about that right now. There are, however, some people that usually, like Michael Bittler, who is going into Europe, so maybe he's going to get on for a special Webby at some point or something like that.
Mm-hmm. Great. Thanks, Liz. For Cotton, what software did you use to create your Chicago SEO video, 8 to 9 minutes long? Well, I wrote it. I did everything myself. There was not one thing that was outsourced. I used Keynote and ScreenFlow and my voice and a pen to write it. So that's it. Next one. Webinar time. What's up, guys? Here we go. Just getting started exploring selling on Amazon. Does the Liz Herrera method work for products we create or only for affiliate type products?
It actually works for a couple different products. One of the styles we'll get into a little bit later on tonight, but the other one is a private label product that you either pick up here in the USA or pretty much any country, but China is obviously the most commonly used country. And it's just a private label product is a product that you put your logo on and you sort of make it seem like it's your own product that you created. But we're going to get into the second type, which is actually surprisingly not affiliate, but it's a much faster way and model to make money with.
Great. Next question is, I guess we're taking advantage of you being here, which is good. It says, I have a review site that makes a little from Amazon affiliate. Instead of pointing to other people's products, I would like to point them to my own. Can I get paid an affiliate commission on my own product sales? But would I have to use a different IP and email address?
You can, as long as it's off of a third-party site. You can't, like, for example, you can't run a Google AdWords campaign and use an affiliate code like that because that's against terms of service. But if you have a third-party site, whether it be like a site that you're describing, which is an affiliate site, a squeeze page or anything like that, and you're getting traffic off of that you can certainly put your affiliate code on that.
Great. It says, hey, Cotton, great to hear you. Are you guys ever going to open something up like Director's Cut again so I can get your coaching regularly? Don't know. That would be something, that's a David Mills question. And, that's something that, you can write into OMG at OMG Machines and then ask. And generally what we're doing is anyone that signs up for Project Breakthrough has access to this. So at the end of the year, what we wanted to do is update everyone to getting all the new coaches that were coming in, which was Network Empire with Jimmy Kelly, myself, and Joe Marfolio, and Travis Sago. So Director's Cut kind of upgraded everyone from X and J on up into B, which is Breakthrough. And so for those new people that are in Breakthrough right now, they're already getting that. So David, at some point, he's a genius at working these things out, might have an upgrade available soon or might not. I've never asked him. So that'll be something that would be up to him, as he's kind of the designer of everything and what we do. So not a bad idea. We'll be happy to pass that along to him to see what happens. It says, ranking an Amazon product. Do you use a bit.ly link to rank your listing in case you change the title of your product or your canonical URL changes?
I typically don't. I just go ahead and just use the standard, send links to the standard canonical, if I'm even sending that, because there is some kind of redirect. I don't believe it's a 301, but some kind of redirect that still sends juice to the actual original listing. And the way you can sort of see that still works over time is just look at really old listings that rank for things like vitamin C serum. Those listings have been at the top for a long, long time, and they've changed their titles so many different times. And sometimes when you actually search them, and I'm not sure what the latest tool is, but like Ahrefs or Majestic, it shows that they don't have that many backlinks. But the fact that they've changed their title so many different times, obviously some kind of redirect that's going to the new title or new canonical.
Great. Thank you, Liz. Next question is, Cotton, you mentioned in your video on cottongrammar.com that you focus on sales tactics, lead magnetics, etc. Do you bill more of a marketing consultant rather than just SEO, or is that just an old video and you're focusing on the SEO aspect? It's an old video, and I can tell you why. Because when you first start out, you think you can do everything, and what everyone's going to realize, when I know, here's one of the things that I know, and I'm not taking a knock at anybody. Anyone that I hear that, unless they've got a full staff available to them, for one thing I do know is this: they're not doing that much at SEO. Because if you're going to be offering, doing funnels, PPC, Facebook advertising, SEO, web design, and all this other stuff, chances are you're not making over $20,000 a month, especially if you're doing it all by yourself. That's the biggest downfall of what stops people from scaling up very quickly, is they're trying to do too much. I can name you 4 OMGers right now that I'm trying to help along. And what I'm trying to do is get them muddled out of where they're at, trying to do all these websites and other stuff, and they can't even concentrate on sales or anything else. So it's an old video. So what I've learned to do is learn to get rid of everything that wasn't productive or making money. So if you've heard me speak over the last 6 or 7 months, you've talked about how I've just kind of lasered into just doing SEO, to where what I call digital real estate, where I'm moving people from one place to another, and that's it. And that's where all the money comes from. I think where the biggest pitfall that any SEO can get into right now is to try to offer too many things and to try to wear all the hats when you don't even deserve to have one hat on. Like, there's so many people that are just starting out at OMG that just are absolutely horrid at SEO, and they're trying to also be good at web design, funnels, this, that, and offer all this stuff. And what happens is you get muddled down trying to learn 19 different things with one client. Then you got, a $2,000 a month client, and all you're doing is servicing everything they want because you're saying yes, yes, yes to everything. Where all I'm doing is going, sorry, don't do that. I'm taking the client, sending a few links out a week, and I'm making a killing. So with that, and with method I've had is since OMG Live, once I kind of introduced what I was doing to right now, I was at $250,000 a month at OMG Live. This will be the first month that I crossed $500,000 a month. So I've been able to double my business by scaling down, not by scaling up. So old video. So all the stuff that you see in there, if you want to be Frank Kern or Ryan Dice and do all that sort of stuff, good luck. Their whole model is driven by one engine, which is traffic. If you don't have traffic, all these funnels and all this other stuff doesn't work. Now, I will do some consulting on the back end, but that's after I've got them ranked and after I find out if they even need it or not. And I do charge $10,000 a day because I just don't want to do it. It's not like I need the money. $10,000 is not a lot of money to me to waste my time for a day. I average pretty close to $14,000, $15,000 a day. So for me to charge $10,000 a day to fly out and go somewhere, I'm actually losing money. So when you look at that, and when people offer coaching or other stuff, use a mathematics on it and just find out. If people are offering coaching for consulting or other stuff, chances are they're not doing very well. SEO is a very different model for coaching. There's people that hold information that you need and things like that, like Derek has it, he's not sharing, but pretty much consulting, no. So that's just my advice. For Cotton, do you backlink to your money site, cottongrammar.com, and multiple your SEO client website and the same hosting provider, but different PBN, or do you use the same hosting for each? I use different hosting for all my PBNs, and I send links to all inner pages and URLs. Guys, listen, don't get confused on what I'm doing. I don't do anything different than Greg. Anything Greg does, I do. Greg and I talk a lot. And if Greg's doing something different, Greg reaches out and talks to me. If Derek's doing something different, he reaches out and talks to me, and we all do vice versa. So, we're all pretty much doing the same thing. And everything that we talk about here is no different. There's really not a lot of secrets. So if you really want the core foundation of how to rank and you're just starting out, please do yourself a favor. Watch every video that Greg Morrison does. It's a method that still works. It's very solid. And that's exactly what you need to learn before you start moving to some of the more advanced stuff that Derek does. Derek's an amazing SEO mind, but Derek will be the first to tell you, go learn the basics from Greg. And if you want to get advanced crazy stuff, then talk to Derek. But, you have to learn how to drive a Volkswagen before you get inside a Formula One car. So that's where you need to go first, in my opinion. It says here, I have an affiliate site that was ranking but has regularly disappeared from the SERPs. I checked if the site was still indexed by checking site domain, and only the inner pages show up, but not the home page. What is the main page I was trying to rank for? What does this mean? And does the home page, is it only penalized? Is that possible? Thanks.
Well, there's hundreds of different things that can be wrong with it. You know, it's just you can have things just not properly set up on the money site. You know, like the no index issue is very common for a lot of people for some reason. If you're using PBNs to rank it, maybe they've been discovered and they could be penalized. So I always make sure that if you're using PBNs, I frequently check the titles of my PBN, like the articles, and make sure those are ranking properly and make sure that those sites are indexed. And from there, it's just a matter of just, check, cross this off, and trying to figure out why it's not doing it, why it's not ranking. So, I mean, if it's only the inner pages showing, not the home page, maybe you just have no content on the home page. Who knows? I'd have to see it for sure.
Great. So if they want to send it over to Derek, he'll take a look at it for you. Next question. It says, I landed my first client. We're in a medium market in the Midwest where they're the biggest in the state in warehousing. He already has half a dozen keywords he wants to rank with an existing website already on first page. What do you suggest I look to improve the ranking? It says my worth to him. Well, here's the thing with like client stuff, and generally this is why I do a lot of phone calls to people when I'm helping them. This is not enough information for me to go off of, and I'm the type of I like do my client research to where I like to have all the information to all the conversations. I was talking to Deborah Bradley, who's right here where my mouse is, last night, and she was posting and asking me a question, and it just wasn't enough information. But when I got on the phone, she left out one key piece of information that we were able to tie together, that I was able to help her get some clarity on exactly how to move forward with this particular client. So it's very hard to answer specific questions about that without just digging into the details. So Dave, if you want to just go ahead and just message me more details about that, or just send me over the discovery form, just take a snapshot of it. I can look at it and I can tell you exactly how I would proceed forward with them to give you a better idea. But would need a lot more information than that. It says, are there any ethical, legal, copyright issues with reproducing the old content from an expired site? Do we need to say it is from the old site or something?
Usually you're fine with it as long as that company's gone, like they're non-existent. But if the company just relocated to a different domain and they're recycling, they move that content from the old site to the new site, then you definitely don't want to be using that content. Other than that, I mean, if the company went under or out of business, there's nothing that they're going to really do about it anyways, right? So
I think
the most common thing is like expired sites were usually old domains of a company, and they usually 301 them to the new company, and they forgot to renew the old one, right? So you just have to be careful with those ones.
Right. Great. After a certain point in some new sites, no matter how many PBNs I throw at them, they seem to do nothing for me.
Yeah, that comes down to a lot of the times it's the anchor text issues that I discussed a few webinars ago. And usually you start changing to your market levels and you'll start getting movements again. And it also can be based on the type of PBNs you're buying. If there's no trust flow to them, if they're the links in them, they're not very powerful, or it's just your site just doesn't have enough engagement. If it's getting to the page one of Google, especially like the top 5, engagement's going to be a lot more important. You're going to have to start focusing on your click-through rates and your time on site. And you start playing with your meta tag, description tags, and all that kind of things just to get better click-through rates, because that is Google's number one, that's their prime real estate, and they're going to split test people to give the best results. So if people below you are getting better click-through rates and over you, they're going to start showing the other person instead of you. So
absolutely. Next question. It says, hi guys, duplicate content on domains for different countries. Client is currently redirecting NZ domain to Australian site, but needs NZ presence. Site is quite technical product based on working. If we could clone a majority of the site and change appropriate country info.
Right. So, I mean, there is a country canonical plugin out there. I don't remember the name of it, but if you have multiple countries and you're serving localized information for those countries, you can actually have like a drop down on the top of your site or wherever you want to put it, and you can change the country code. And then it actually has in the source code choosing which preference of country code for the canonical URL is going to be. It's quite difficult to explain over a webinar, but you're going to have to start researching country canonicals, and I can't remember how to say it now. href tags, whatever. I'll try to find that link for the plugin, and I'll post it to her there.
Great. It says a footer links question for additional on-site SEO. Do you have privacy policy terms of service on the sitemaps foot header?
I don't have those in. Yeah, I have those in the footer, not in the sitemap.
Okay. So footer, not sitemap. I do the exact same. Great. Next question, Cotton and Derek. Do you guys sometimes use only social and 2.0s instead of PBNs for less competitive niche sites? Derek.
Well, I do. I do.
Good. That's a good enough answer. It says, next question, does OMG have a private Facebook account or group account? Maybe invited always. We have both. We have both. And if you logged in and if you're new and if you paid attention to the intro, you were either supposed to friend Mike or Mike or Greg, or even myself, and we can add you to the Facebook group. That's like in there. Then there's a private group, which we're on right now, which is the OMG way. And that's where we're posting at right now. It says, this is for you, Liz, and this is going to be like a little mini book here. It says, one of my Amazon products has 17 sellers on the listing underbidding me. It's a patented product we wholesale, so I don't mind the sellers. But we're slowly dropping off page one. If I run a promo, they never work because we don't have control of our own buy box. I can create a link to our own specific seller account's listing, but a search URL is so specific. The sales velocity to one link affect the overall listing. 6 months ago, we were the sole buy box, gave away 37, made page one. Last week, we sold 60 and barely jumped from spot 3 to page 2 to the top of page 2.
My first question for them would be, I'm not understanding like if they're wholesaling to these other people or if they're hijackers. It sounds to me like they're wholesaling to these people. If I was going to be wholesaling to a bunch of people on a patented product, I would do something like map pricing, which means you have to have a minimum sales price in order to list under the listing. So if they wanted to go ahead and message me with which one it is, because like I said, it's a multi-part answer, I can certainly have a look and then give them some suggestions. But it sounds like they're on the right track. The only thing is that there shouldn't be a reason why people that are selling their product are undercutting them unless they're hijackers.
Interesting. Okay, we will go down here. Skipping one. Someone asked a question about Greg and IFTTP. If you want to know that, the best thing to do is Greg has his webinars on Mondays. Greg would love to have you on there and asking him, and he'll explain everything that he does on that. So it says, do you recommend adding links to PBN sites? Yes.
Yeah, one of the most common things, especially in people ranking with just pure PBNs, is the negative link velocity of the whole network, right? So it's a very common footprint.
Great. Next question is for Liz. Liz, how do you rank your Amazon and e-commerce sites? PBNs or social or 2.0s? Thanks. Liz, if the information's too much or you haven't discussed it or don't want to tell people, you don't have to.
Yeah, I've actually ranked some Amazon listings, but it was actually with just junk links based off the concept of initially people were saying just go ahead and spam the listing, the canonical, and I actually did that for a while on one listing and I ranked, and it's still actually ranked. But pretty much, to be quite honest with them, I don't really even spend any time ranking my Amazon listings. What I do spend some time ranking are YouTube videos, and that's pretty much it. And within Amazon, and I find that that's enough traffic for me to sell quite a bit of items.
Great. And we're going to skip some of these Amazon questions. It's going to be almost something that we're going to be covering here. Next question is, I'm going to give this to Derek because he loves these type of questions. Derek, how long does it take to rank a new website? People want to know.
Depends on the keyword. It could be anywhere from, I've ranked some websites within 24 hours, and I've ranked some websites in 6 months. So.
Great. It says, I've been in OMG for a while. Great meeting everyone in Las Vegas. What's the best way to get help from the coaches? Is it only through office hours, or can we get one-on-one help somehow? Well, unfortunately, to get one-on-one help, that's why we do have office hours, is for you to answer all your questions here. Generally, the coaches, I'm very close with all of them. Fletch just texted me, said that I seem like I'm in a fantastic mood. And so we're very close. What we do is if you send us a message on Facebook, we're generally okay with answering that if it's a short and brief question. But to do one-on-ones, that's impossible. That's all I would be doing. There's over 2,000 members in OMG. If, Fletch, Joe, myself, Greg, Liz, and everyone decided that we were just going to sit down and do one-on-ones all day, we would make absolutely no money and have no information to provide for you. So generally, if we make a big discovery, someone like Derek or myself, and even Liz, what we're doing is kind of bulldozing away, trying to find new information and then products. And David has always wanted us to just do our business, to just go out there and just work as hard as we can. And through us working, we're one of the very few programs where all the coaches are still in the midst of doing what they're doing. So you'll have other coaches or other internet-related marketing products or other SEO programs where these guys don't even have a ranking up. They stop doing SEO and they're just coaching. And if we did that, I don't even know where I would be at if I had done no SEO or no client research or R&D since January. There would be no assimilation webinars. Derek, how much information have you accumulated over the last 6 months by just working?
Yeah, it's pretty much
right.
I've pretty much forgotten more SEO in the last few years than most people ever known. But yeah, the last 6 months, it's just I'm always finding stuff, especially because I work on so many more clients now, and I always find things interesting and explore stuff. So that's what I hate when people are like, "Oh, I can't get this to work," and they don't even play with the site, or they don't.
Right. Liz, let me ask you this: if you just stopped doing Amazon, and if you just did coaching for the next 6 months, how sharp would your information be?
Wow, I would be way behind. Because things change weekly on Amazon, even daily for that matter, but it's no different than SEO where things are constantly changing. You have to be in the game in order to understand what's going on. But yeah, that would definitely be something I would never do.
Exactly. And one of the things I want you to understand, John, is we're here to help you, and we want to, but we're okay with quick questions to where you get stuck or anything. But OMG is such an amazing course that everything is built right inside. You just got to dig in. Remember, this is the exact same course, the exact same information that got me to $500,000 a month. So when you look at that, you're playing with the same deck of cards that I am. So that's what you have to look at. When you want one-on-one help, what I don't encourage you to do is before you go out and ask for or pay for your money, you're paying a lot of money to be an OMG. Please, for the love of Jesus, ask, where are your rankings? Where are your income reports? Now, when you get coaching from Derek, Derek's in the top 5 for San Francisco SEO. He backs up what he says. But why do you want to get coached from someone that doesn't have a visible ranking? So, guys, what I want to do right now is if that makes sense, give me a hashtag clear here in the Facebook group. Just do your due diligence, guys, please. I don't care if it's your mom. If your mom says she knows SEO, say, yo, where's your rankings? Because if mamas don't got rankings, then guess what? Sonny daughter's not going to have any rankings either. And you're going to be dead broke. And you're going to be doing nothing but paying someone cereal to eat breakfast every morning. That's it. Half the coaches out there simply exist just to pay their mortgage. They're not successful. If you don't have rankings, if you don't have real income reports, don't take coaching. I don't know how many times I've told you this, guys. So, but that's one of the things. We'd love to be available to everyone, and that's what a lot of the assimilation tour is us trying to give back. See a lot of people one-on-one, but don't get frustrated. If someone, and guys, this is kind of how I operate. Derek might not operate this way. Liz, if you bother me consistently, then I know that you're serious about wanting my help. Then I generally pay attention. If you just send me one message saying, hey, Cotton, where do I find out how to rank a website? I know that you're just a lazy person and you're not going to get my attention. So if you've actually put in time and attention to get what you want out of the course and are having problems, I want to be there to help you every step of the way. And that's why I've helped so many people. So that's one of the things that we're here for you. Fletch is here for you. Joe's here for you. Greg's here for you. Mike, David, me, Liz, John Gill, all of us, we want your success, but we're not going to do the work for you. And so Derek is always excited to answer a question. I know him very well. We're great friends. When he sees that you've done the detective work to get to a certain point, Derek will always give you a little bit more information to take you across to the other side. Isn't that right, Derek?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I do private consulting, but yeah, I really like when people have some kind of base going on, so they know if they don't know everything that's at least in OMG, I'll help them, but it's hard. It's difficult for me to do consulting with them if they don't know the basics.
Sure. So guys, just remember that if you get stuck on something, by all means, please message me. I'd generally try to get back with everyone as soon as possible. We want to be there to help you. Our main goal is to have everyone be successful, but please just make sure that you spent some time digging through OMG to look for the information, because it's in there. Trust me, it's in there. And so, but I want to be able to help you. I don't want you to be frustrated. So one-on-one with coaches is generally on their own discretion. I don't do one-on-one coaching, as I explained with you earlier. At $250 an hour, I want you to tell me how much that would do for me. It wouldn't do anything. I'd be losing thousands of dollars an hour. So that's why I just don't offer it. So next question, what do you use to streamline products specifically for client consulting and lead gen? I just use Basecamp and Excel. I mean, that's pretty much all I use. I like to keep things simple. What about you, Derek?
Yeah, pretty much the exact same setup.
Mm-hmm. Liz, what do you use?
With my V's and stuff, I use Basecamp. Pretty much is it, and Google Docs.
There you go.
Dropbox, things like that.
Cool. By the way, I just had Joe Marfolio text me, and he says if you want John Cisco is the one that asked about the one-on-one coaching. Joe just texted me right now and said if you want one-on-one coaching, which is true, get on Joe Marfolio's webinar every Thursday where he does the hot seat. Joe will put you on the hot seat and he'll break it down. That's where you're going to get Joe's attention. And Joe's brilliant. I've learned so much from Joe. He is absolutely a brilliant mind on all aspects of internet marketing. One of the greatest treats of 2015 has been to have a friendship with Joe, to be able to pick his brain and to learn from him. If you want, Joe's more hands-on with this sort of stuff. So join Joe tomorrow night for the hot seat. And guys, if you want one-on-one attention about how your business is going, processes, or anything else, that's what Joe does in the hot seat. So that's kind of a little commercial to go over to another webinar. What we're going to do is answer questions quick and fast, and we're going to teach you the hottest thing that's going on in SEO or in internet marketing right now. So if you want more care and more personal attention, Joe and Fletch are going to be those guys, webinars, and Greg that you're going to want to go to. And if it wasn't for Fletch, I wouldn't be here today. Wasn't for Greg, I wouldn't be here today. These guys are geniuses in getting people started right away. So just remember that. So if you need a little extra attention outside the personal messages, check out Joe on Thursdays, Fletch on Sunday mornings. That just means don't go out and party Saturday night. Set your alarm clock. I'm going to tell you, Fletch is a warrior. Fletch was out on a Saturday night, went home early from assimilation because he knew that he had a webinar on Sunday. That's how committed Fletch is to you and to making sure that you succeed. So just remember that. So Joe, Fletch, Greg, and man, you got a lot of resources to go to along with all the information in OMG. Says Cotton, Derek, and Liz, regarding SEO tools, do you guys use the OMG Command Center or others? Derek, yes or no? Do you use OMG Command Center?
No.
I do not. Right. I don't use it either. And guys, I don't want you to take that as a don't use it. There's a lot of useful to it. Derek and I are dead set in our own ways. So in other words, we're used to what we started with. I like using individual products because I make a ton of money and I got to have a tax write-off anyway. I have the full AREFs, the full MAs, the full everything, and that's what I'm used to using. So it's hard to change habits when you're already used to doing certain things. That's all it really is. It's just habits, and whatever you get used to, use, and whatever works for you, use. So, that's all I would say. So next question is, it says, I had a client competitor embed a Yelp logo and the link to their Yelp page from their website, not on the footer. But it seemed like that's the only link that raised the PA of their Yelp to 43, which now ranks their Yelp highly from any keywords in their industry. How is that better than footer links? Their site PADA is not higher than ours.
Where was that? Okay. So they installed a Yelp link? Is that what happened?
Yeah, it says here, this is a very unusual. You know what, Vince? Why don't you just message Derek on that? This is kind of a complicated question, and have Derek look at it for you, and he'll be happy to answer it for you really quick. Just from looking at it itself, it seems like we need a little bit more. I'm not even kind of clear when I was reading it myself. So just message him to that, and then we'll get back to you. And sorry we couldn't get to that right away. It says, I'm brand new to OMG. Can you explain Project Breakthrough? Project Breakthrough is what you just signed up for. All of the course and material that you currently got in Project Breakthrough right now, and why you're on this webinar right now is because you're in Project Breakthrough. If you're in Project Breakthrough right now, it is not important to know what any other project is. It just isn't. So if you're in Project Breakthrough, you're in the newest, freshest content that OMG has to offer, and knowing any of the other ones is a waste of your time. So that kind of explains Project Breakthrough. It says, next question, I'm working with a local client that has 5 addresses in the last 10 years and has hired other SEOs in the past. They have tons of inaccurate citations. Do I need to fix the bad ones or just get ones in the newest addresses? Derek.
Yeah, well, you should start trying to correct all the bad ones that are at least the ones that have links to them, or anything that's with high domain authority. Other than that, yeah, you should build a few. You don't go overboard, but on the new location, and you should probably do the map version I did on the webinar with Wyatt there. That ranked the website within 24 hours. So usually it's enough to. I've done it on one site that had a citation mess, and it corrected that as well. So it's a good method to teach or do.
Good. Okay. Next question Trying to skip things here for people asking questions about what we might be going over. It says, hi, when selecting keyword for Wirecast video, what is the best search volume range to look for to rank for easy keywords?
I've never used Wirecast.
Nor have I. So if like Joe was on, and I know he is, I just can't find him. I would bring him on to answer the question, but I can't find him. I already was looking for him while that question was going on to bring him on, so I don't see him. I think he's hidden under like Spanky Reynolds or something under a fake name. So we can give a hashtag. Yeah, Joe just texted me. He said he's under an alias called Spanky. So guys, let's let Joe know that we appreciate him sneaking around. Let's give him a hashtag Spanky. There we go. Let's say hello to Joe because he's on right now. He wanted to sneak in. So we'll just go to the next question here. It says here, that was one of the most important things you reiterated to me in LA. James, we had a long conversation. I don't know what you're talking about, but I'm glad I was able to help. Next question. It says, Cotton, when starting out an SEO company and not ranking yet, how do you respond to why aren't you ranking currently using your LinkedIn method, but just wanted to know if you have ever had that experience when you first started? And the answer is no. I was ranked first on page 1 before I ever started selling for clients. And one of the things that tripped me up is asking me, do I have any referrals? And that's how I created the LinkedIn method. So if you're not ranking on page 1, how do they know you're not? Did they ask you? So once again, when I say this, there's a lot of context that I would need to see based on how you're talking to someone to how to interact with them. Every client interaction is unique in its own way. So, why did they ask you that? Did you tell it to them? Did they say, let me see proof that you can do what you're doing? Then the question is, why did they ask that? I have very few people ask me that question. How did they find you? Did you go, cold call them? Did they, friend or refer? There's a lot of different things I would know. So, Tyler, if you want to send me a message on Facebook and give me more detail about that, I can tell you how we can weasel around out of that. So, but I would need a lot more information to know where you stand, because everything about selling this is gaining control. When someone asks a question like that, they realize that they're in your velvet ropes and they're trying to put you in theirs. So, and when you have all these bases covered, like rankings and other stuff, then it's impossible for them to get out. So I'll do my best to help you to send me a message. It says, Cotton, Derek, and Liz, how many hours per day do you work, along with how many days per week do you work on your business? We'll start out with Liz.
Well, lately, since we've had this assimilation tour, I think I've been putting in like 16-hour days, 4 days a week, and then pretty much a couple hours when we're out of town. But it's usually like 60-hour weeks, maybe even 70-hour weeks.
Great.
So I actually do it because I love what I do. So I actually enjoy doing, the things like sourcing products and all that. So I really don't probably need to work as much, but I'm sort of like, it's almost like addicting to work when you do something that you love to do.
Great. And Derek, what about you?
Yeah, I'm pretty much on from 9 a.m. till 10, 11 nighttime, and then sometimes at 2, 3 in the morning, 4 in the morning. But I have kids, so I have to, especially when they're on summer break now, so I have to take a couple hours off during the middle of the day. But even then, on the weekends, we go to the lake, but I bring my laptop and I get a few hours of work every day in there too. So
great.
I don't really want to count the hours per week.
But it's a lot. I mean, you're like probably up to 60. Easy.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
What about you, Fletch? How many hours are you putting in?
Am I on?
Oh, you're on, buddy. Dude, you could just get pulled out, just right out of obscurity.
Yeah, you Cotton. I thought I was just lounging.
No, my friend.
I'm on a lot. I mean, I kind of stepped out and got some people working for me that it really helped me with a lot of the heavy lifting for SEO. But I spent, I don't know, 8 to 10 hours a day, 6 days a week, probably.
Yeah. So you're doing 60 also. Easy.
Yeah, 60.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but
But
man, you wake up crazy early
I'm
then.
going from 50 to 150 a month. That's my goal.
Yeah, but man, you're like waking up what, 3 a.m., rocking it out till what, like 9 o'clock at night?
Yeah, I wake up early. I do that because there are things that you need to do
Mm-hmm.
in SEO where you just can't get bugged, people asking you questions and whatnot. I love doing that. That's part of what I do with OMG. But
Sure.
you talked about earlier where you've got to figure your own stuff out before you can teach somebody else.
Mm-hmm.
Those are the things I've got to do when nobody else is awake. So
Sure.
yeah, 3 hours of that, and I guess 6 days a week. So yeah, 24 hours of time to myself lets me continue to teach people, and help them out in their business. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I'm still pretty busy, but it's better than it used to be, which was like 100 hours a week.
Sure.
And here's the thing too. Like I'm 3 years into this, so I know enough about SEO and how to rank, especially with local, and how to monetize it. If I wanted to just like cruise, 10 hours a week gets me really decent income. But that doesn't help people in OMG. It doesn't help the people that work for me. It doesn't help my clients really. So, the whole internet lifestyle thing is. I look at it differently now than I used to. Which, when I got into online marketing, I thought like it would be great if I could just like check my bank account once a week. But now being involved with it, I realize there's people on the other end of every transaction I help facilitate, and the easier I make it on everybody, the better off we all are. So, I'm going to continue to kind of, mash the pedal a little bit, and help out OMGers, help out my clients, help out my family, and so I can cruise at this point. If you want to cruise, you get a couple years in, you can cruise for a while.
Sure.
But that doesn't put you in the place you need to be, 15 or 20 years from now. So
No, doesn't. And you know what's funny is you're like doing a lot of the same thing I am. I like find that my most quiet time to work is from literally like 10 o'clock at night to like 3 in the morning. So, that's when the phone's not ringing. So pretty much I could be texting you good morning. You could be texting me good night. I mean, it's just a
yeah,
reverse.
it happens a lot.
Yeah,
We know. Yeah.
right. So, yeah,
Sleep. I'm
yeah.
on call. Yeah.
Yeah, because that's when the phone stops ringing. That's when the Facebook messages start coming in. That's when I can actually get down and get focused. But I myself pretty much get to bed every night, between 1 and 3 a.m. and I'm up by 8 a.m. So, and I'm literally stumbling out of bed, grab a ball hat, grab a green tea, sit down and just stumble into my desk and start working right about 10 after 8 and literally go that long. So I really haven't added up, but I would be willing to say that I'm well beyond 70 hours a week. And, the bottom line is, guys, the door's open. And it's like the door to the bank is open and I can run in and grab as much cash as I can and come out. If you had that opportunity, how much sleep would you get? And that's where all of us are at right now. That like Fletch and Liz and Derek and all of us right now, the bank door's open and we're running in and we're just grabbing it and we're running out. And we're going, okay, do I have enough? No, we're going to come back in and get it because we don't know when that door is going to close. And I always like to live life like it's my last day. And would I be happy with how I've lived it? And, I want to go out on fire. I want to go out knowing that I've helped people, knowing that I gave 100%, knowing that I made as much of my life as that I could. So to me, I can slow down a little bit. When I was in Vegas for the week, I probably worked 8 hours a day. And to me, that's taking a day off. But still, you got to factor in the networking, the talking to people, everything else. It adds up. So that's how many hours a week that we all work. And if you want to be successful and hit the numbers that are six figures, that are $100,000 a month, that are $50,000 a month, I don't know of anyone that's doing that, not putting in a minimum of 40 hours. And if they tell you that you're doing that and they just started, chances are they're like full of it. So I still do it and I still enjoy it, and I'll continue to do it. So it's where we're at. But Fletch, I just want to get one more thing on your opinion. There's a lot of people that I like know that have been asking for one-on-ones and just help getting over a bubble. Is that something that your webinar specifically caters to?
There's something that it's a great question. It's one that's been kind of asking me a lot recently, and really kind of in perpetuity. There's something I've talked about. Like, there's been a ton of people that ask me kind of, when you started, what did you do? How'd you get to kind of like the first, transitional threshold or plateau or whatever it might be? And I've told 2,000 or 3,000 people this, and very few are willing to go out and do it. I do not offer one-on-one coaching to anybody who's not walked the steps I walked. If you've gone out and built 70 sites that make $200 or $300 a month, I will help you get to the next place. If you don't take my recommendation, which is the only recommendation I can give, it's what I did. I built 70 sites that made $200 or $300 a month. I don't really know how to help you. I can teach you SEO. I can take you, I can take you a couple steps past what you know as far as what ranks, but I only know the path I walked. And the path I walked was practicing what Greg taught us as far as what works with SEO, figuring out how to monetize that, and then practicing it and getting to the point where I can build a site that ranks and that makes money, even if it's not a lot, and create value that way. So, there's a ton of people who are like, yeah, but I want to build one site, that makes me $5,000 a month. And I'm like, well, I can't get you from where you are to that unless you did the other thing. And, I'm not trying to say I'm frustrated, but there's so many people that ask me what I did, and they're like, yeah, but I don't want to do that. I want to do this other thing. And I'm like, well, why are you asking me the question then? I went from broke and utilities turned off to a lot of money. And I can do that for everybody that will just take a few steps and build simple websites that rank and that make the website owner and the business it's pointed toward a lot of money. And a lot of the people that come into OMG want that. But they want the big glamour, like, oh wait, I want to make $100,000 a month. Okay, well, you can't do that until you make $1,000 a month. You've got to take steps. So I am 100% open to anybody who does what I, not that I'm some like weird egomaniacal person, but I only know how to take people along the path that I walked. And so if you will build sites that do that and monetize it, get it sold, and take the next step, I can get everybody to $40,000 a month. And beyond that, okay, go talk to Cod, because that's different stuff. But good Lord, there's a lot of people who don't make any money, and they're looking for this one trick pony that will answer every question, and they're not willing to put in the work. They're not willing to put in the time. They won't build a website that ranks. They won't go out and talk to a business owner and sell it, but they still want to make the money, and it doesn't work that way, So that's my little,
No, dude, I totally agree with you. Everyone wants a Cliff Notes, and people should be asking me, how do I make $1,000 a month, instead of how do I make $400,000 a month? It started with me with 1,000, and then it started with 14, then it went to 26. So it's a building block process. It should be how to get to one step to another. But guys, listen, Fletch just dropped you a lot of information on here. If you're not willing to put in the work, guys, I want you to. We have almost 600 people on right now. We're in the OMG Way group. Guys, I want you that if you understood what Fletch said, I want you to give me a hashtag Fletch. Literally, I want to see a minimum of 400 hashtag Fletches. We want participation. If you're not going to participate, there's no purpose of being here. But I want you guys to understand what he says. Guys, stop asking the wrong questions. I'm a big Tony Robbins fan, and Tony Robbins says it's all about asking the right questions. That's what gets you successful. So instead of asking Fletch, hey Fletch, I know you did a $53,000 day, a month ago. Tell me how you did it. Well, you don't deserve that information. But I tell you what Fletch will tell you how to do. He will tell you how to build a site that'll make $200. So if you come to Fletch and say, I've already got my site up and I think I've done it right. Can you take a look at it? Because I want to make a couple $100 out of this. Fletch is going to jump on that site like a bum on the back of a caboose. He will. So, but when you come to Fletch and goes, I want what you got, buddy. I want what you got. Well, you haven't earned it. So putting in the work is vitally important when you're acting for Cliff Notes, when you're so lazy that you ask, I can't find Greg's PBN training in OMG, and you post that in the Facebook thread. Oh, hold on. Let me go look for that for you. Well, I mean, come on. I did, guys, to this day, I challenge you, go back and search in the Facebook thread. I've not asked one question. One. Some days I spent 72 hours looking for one answer to a question. That's why I'm where I'm at. And you're going to get to find out why when I get ready to talk to Liz, that she has the same type of demeanor. So, guys, please, if you're serious about and you understand what we're saying, please, I want to see all of these on here. Hashtag Fletch. Get them all on here. And there we go. There's a picture of me and Fletch right there. God, we're some good-looking guys, aren't we, Fletch? So what we're going to do is, guys, we're going to transition, and because it's going to go, we're going to go right on into exactly the theme of what we're talking about right now. And guys, you've heard a lot about Liz, but I want to be honest. How many of you really know Liz's background? I want you to, if you really know her background, I want you to give me a hashtag Liz. Because I don't think that a lot of you guys know a lot about her. And we're going to find out a little bit about her. And, Liz is incredibly successful. Yeah, there's some people that says poker, no idea, brand new to OMG. And that's like great. Well, guys, I think you're going to be inspired by exactly what you're going to find out, what it takes to be successful. And tonight, I want to get you to know one of my good friends. I've had a chance to know her now for about 6 months and spent many days with her. She's actually spent the night in my house for a couple nights. We've laughed, we've had fun, we're amazing friends. There's not a lot of people that I can say that's as genuine as she is. A hard worker and definitely knows her information. So with that, Liz, are you ready to get this rolling?
Absolutely, I'm ready to go.
Great. I want to just kind of talk about how you got started, and give me a little bit of background, about your success early back on, about 2008 to 2011, and what was going on at that time with you.
Okay, so I was actually a professional poker player for probably around a bit over a decade, and I was actually really good around 2008. About 2008 to 2012, I was the top female poker player in the world, and just one of the top 30 poker player earners in general online. And I was doing really well, climbed to the top of the poker world, So that's kind of where my background is. So I've got a really good background in poker and having to deal with like mindset and things like that.
Well, let me ask you this because I know that's mainly a male-dominated sport. Is that right?
Absolutely. I was the only female in the top 30 for years, for quite a few years. And in fact, there was a lot of people that would, that was one of the big things is they did not believe I was a woman. People would say I was actually a man posing as a woman just to get attention.
It's crazy. So how did that feel that like you could go into when the odds were against you, you were in a fully male-dominated arena, and did that give you any motivation? Did that fire you up any, or did you just not pay attention to it and knew that you could hang with the big boys?
It actually really did motivate me. In fact, I actually, one of my main poker handles that was really well known around in the poker world, I tried to make it as macho as possible so people would actually think I was a dude. That way they'd give me respect more than anything because I knew that there was a lot of women out there that were just sort of popular because they were decent at poker and you know that they were a woman. So I actually called myself Rick James bitch after Dave Chappelle.
Oh my, that's like absolutely funny. So you were known as Rick James bitch on there, and so you got to be in the top 10 of all of
Yeah,
poker,
at
right?
one point I was in the top 10 online, and I just, like I said, I really focused. I worked ridiculous hours, sort of like we all do right now. You at SEO, as Fletch talked about SEO, Derek SEO, but I worked a ridiculous amount of hours actually studying just poker hands and things like that, and did whatever it took to be one of the best.
So in other words, you just didn't walk in there and just magically pick up poker and just be great at it.
No, it actually took me probably around. Yeah, I was already making six figures even from the first year because I was pretty decent at it. But at that time, it was fairly easy to actually do. But it wasn't until 2008 when the games actually started getting their toughest that I just got that good. And it was based off of just years and years of just grinding and working really hard to become that great.
Great. How much money do you think you accumulated from 2008 to 2011?
2008 to 2011 were some of my best years, so I would say it was close to 80% of what I made altogether, which was right around $8 million.
Wow. Guys, if that's not crazy alone, you know, give me a hashtag 8 million right here. I mean, that's like crazy right here. So that's absolutely amazing at any sport. Anyone that can go in and pull that type of money out of a competition has to be pretty headstrong, pretty savvy, especially when you're going up against all men who literally don't want you in there anyway, who are doing everything possible to get you out, and you found a way to beat ass all the way up to the top 10. So, guys, you're already getting an idea of just the type of mindset that like Liz has, because that's absolutely amazing. So, Liz, amazing accomplishment, $8 million. But something happened at the end of 2011 that literally just devastated with you.
Yeah, it was a day that's well known in the book world called Black Friday, where since I was playing really high stakes, I needed to keep a ridiculous amount of money online. And so one day, the DOJ cracked down on all these poker sites that were taking, they were illegally taking money from people that were trying to cash in. So they were taking like credit card charges, and instead of showing it came from poker sites, that way they wouldn't get caught. They would put it was for something like golf balls. So what wound up happening is, as a result of that, the DOJ came and shut down all the major poker sites and pretty much held all the money. And as a result of that, a bunch of the sites just decided, hey, we're going to file bankruptcy. And the ones that didn't, actually, the DOJ held that money. The site held it back first, and eventually the DOJ got it. But it took 3.5 years to get that money back.
So basically, to sum it up, you've accumulated over $8 million over the course of 3 or 4 years, and you wake up one day and all your money's gone.
Yeah, and not just that, Cotton. Not only was just my money was gone, but my income was gone, and it was pretty
Mm.
rough. I mean, it was like it's sort of like similar to your story. I had hit
Right.
rock bottom, and really didn't really know what to do at that point because I was supporting my family. I was supporting my mom, who's got a bit of a disability, and then I was putting my sister through nursing school. So it's kind of hard to tell the people that rely on you that you
Sure.
can't do anything anymore. You know what I mean?
Wow. I mean, it's got to be a pretty helpless feeling to, make all that money and then one day you wake up and it's gone.
Yeah, it
So,
was almost desperate.
right. So, what did you do? I mean, you decided not to go back to poker. You had a bad taste in your mouth from what happened. They held all your income. You weren't able to get it. You had no way of relying on your skill. I mean, I'm sure you could have picked up cards in some back alley somewhere and made some money, but then you would have had to have a gun. So you just kind of decided to give up, and you were kind of in a similar position to where I was at, from what I understand. You wanted to give it your go at making money online, right?
Right. So, I had actually tried to get my mom to start selling on Amazon because I thought it would help her create something because she was feeling like desperate and she felt like it wasn't my responsibility to have to take care of her, so she was sort of trying to find something to do. So I came across Amazon, suggested it to her, and I noticed that she began doing it, but she'd have a couple questions here and there and she wouldn't know what to do. So I saw that she was like trying to do it, so it kind of like inspired me to, hey, let me just give this a try. And I started answering her questions, and with that I said, well, let me just give a shipment a try. Let me send stuff that I have laying around the house and see what happens. And immediately when we saw that we were getting sales just from stuff that was laying around our house, it was like, hey, wait a minute, we just made $200 our first day from things that were laying around the house. This could actually be really good if we go out and find things.
One of the things I want to just rewind is Liz, why are you supporting your mother?
She has an autoimmune disease, and doctors really haven't been able to tell what it is. So she is unable to work, and she got like a lot of joint pain and things like that. So I basically supported her for quite a while now. And with that being said, like I said, I had to help my sister get through nursing school. And she was at the time she was actually going to Baylor, so it was kind of really hard to tell her, hey, you're going to have to go to UTEP. You can't go to Baylor anymore.
Wow.
But she was a really good sport about it, and she eventually now she graduated from UTEP, and she's actually working as a CCU nurse. She got a full-time job and everything, and she's actually going to go to secondary school. She's looking to go to a medical school.
Let me ask you this, and I don't mean to put you on the spot, but what would they have done without you?
I really don't know. I mean, because like I said, I was the only person that they really had to do that, so I can't even imagine what they would have done. And that's kind of like I said, that's part of the thing that sort of inspired me to figure it out. I knew I could. I knew I could make money, and I saw a lot of other people making money, and I knew that if they could make money, so could I.
So we were at the point to where now, you're like, mother's not in good health. She's depending on you. Your sister's depending on you. You've lost all your money. Not only are you feeling down, but you have other people that you're also responsible for. And then you decide what made you to decide to move into the Amazon direction?
I had actually sold on eBay quite a while back, and I knew that eBay had quite a bit of leverage in terms of traffic. So when I saw Amazon was around, I knew that Amazon was going to be like eBay, but I felt like it would be eBay on steroids. And like I said, as I saw my mom kind of like doing things on there, it kind of made me curious, and she sort of like inspired me to maybe give it a shot because I knew how quickly eBay could turn into a cash cow. So I was like, hey, you know what? I just should try this out, send stuff laying around in the house, and see what happens. And that's basically what I did.
Great. Guys, I mean, if you're not inspired by this story so far, the rise of someone that was at the top of their game, they lost all their money, such a great heart, amazing person, taking care of their mother, their sister putting her through nursing school. I mean, such an amazing story, and guys, we're not done yet. If you're inspired this far, I want you to give it hashtag GoLiz. Hashtag GoLiz. And guys, every one of you should be touched by this in a certain way. I mean, it's inspiring to hear that there's very few people that are this selfless out there that are actually looking at someone else besides themselves. And Liz, how long did it take you to kind of see what your mother was doing, or from the time you've lost your money to you helped your mother buy an Amazon product, how much time had went by?
It was probably about 5 to 6 months because I was just really trying to look at other internet marketing things that were going on and trying to see if I could make them work. Like I did manage to do quite well at YouTube, but by that I mean like figure things out. Like I still hadn't created an action plan to actually make money with it because I still had a little bit of money sitting around, but it really wasn't enough compared to what like my expenses were and supporting an entire, a mom and a sister.
Mm-hmm.
And so it took probably about 6 months, and it was actually at the point where I was actually literally just about out of money.
Wow. You know what, Liz? I've like always believed that like karma always exists, and it's so satisfying to know that you were there, helping your mother, being there when she needed you, when no one else would help her, and not knowing what was going on, but yet the very same person that you were helping, your mother, is the one that kind of got you into Amazon and inspired you to do what you're doing now.
Right, she absolutely did because I think it was kind of like hard seeing her like, she can't really do much physically, so the fact that we actually originally started with some books we found here in the garage, and then my sister gave me a bunch of her textbooks, so she was having just trouble like putting them in, but she would go to bed and she would be hurting and stuff from doing all that stuff, so that's when I decided, well, you know what, I can just give her a hand with this and see what happens. And that's basically how it sort of started. I helped her send in the books because, the boxes, they can weigh a lot when you have a bunch of books in them. They can be upwards of 40 pounds. So that's sort of where I started, like, helping her out.
So when you started helping your mother out, when did you start to realize that you were onto something?
I think immediately when the items checked in, as soon as the items checked into Amazon, they just started to sell, like, really quickly, like, 10 items sold immediately upon them checking in. What I mean by that is usually when you send in an item, Amazon will send you an email that they're receiving the items. And at that point, as soon as we got that email, all of a sudden I logged into a Seller Central about an hour later, and there was like 10 sales that went really fast. And it was like, oh, wow, this is kind of crazy. We just got 10 sales on stuff that was laying around in our house.
Mm-hmm.
We couldn't even imagine what would happen if it was things that we found somewhere else.
So can you kind of take us through the progression of when you first started to when you really kind of were hitting your stride, making maybe $10,000 or $15,000 a month? What's the time frame and how did that happen?
Within about the first 2 to 3 months, we'd already hit 10,000. I think it was the 2-month point. But what we basically we hit 10,000 by just doing garage sales and swap meets and bookstores, like used bookstores. We would really go in and scan just about everything, and then we had just barely started doing going to retail arbitrage stores like Ross and Marshall's, and like we took you in Orlando to Big Lots. So it was a span between 2 and 3 months where we actually hit that point, and really we did a lot of just learning. The best way to kind of learn it is just to start doing it, and so we would do it. We actually, even at that point, my mom didn't even have a smartphone, so we would actually share a phone. And if she would go out, she would take the phone, or I would go out and I would take the phone. We had to like really downsize all our spending, so we only had one. We had to share a smartphone.
How many hours a week were you working to build it up over the first 90 days up to about $10,000 a month?
About the first 90 days, I worked about maybe like 30 hours because I was still 30 hours a week. I was still seeing if I was still trying to learn some more YouTube stuff, so I was taking a lot of time doing that. So I would say 30 hours the first 2 months, and then as soon as we saw, okay, we hit 10,000, there's no sense in really doing anything except for selling on Amazon. At that point, it went to about 50 hours.
Great. You had gotten to be pretty successful and very well known inside this particular group, and you attended some elite masterminds that they had available that was just open to a certain number of elite Amazon sellers. And can you tell me what kind of happened? What was the turning point of you going to these masterminds and what actually happened there?
Right, so at this mastermind, it was a pretty high-level mastermind I went to, and they had a contest, and I actually attended this mastermind twice in a row, and on both occasions I won a contest. It was a contest for the smartest marketer, where every other marketer that attended would vote on who came up with the absolute best idea or who had the best technique for doing something. And one of those techniques that I showed people at both masterminds, it was the technique, and then the technique expanded at Mastermind 2. It won the $1,000 prize twice in a row unanimously. Immediately upon seeing half the votes, it was unanimous at that point, and so they didn't even bother counting the rest of them because, like, okay, you know what, you're the back-to-back winner, you win the $1,000, and I won that 2 times in a row. And upon sharing that, that's sort of like how I got to meet you.
Wow.
And Mike.
Yeah. So let's recap this. You started out with absolutely nothing. Your mother inspired you to get inside of Amazon. At this point, you want to gravitate towards a community that's selling Amazon. Not only do you work your way all up through this group, but you then go and start being with the top 25 elite people in this group. And I've seen this group. They're in excess of over 7, 8, 10,000 people. You go there. And not only do you go there, but you blow everyone away by them voting you the top marketing tactic for Amazon. We could say you're lucky if you won it once, but you won it 2 years in a row. 2 years in a row. Now, guys, if you want to hear the rest of this story, because it does get better, just give me a hashtag more. Give me a hashtag more. Because, guys, this story is very inspiring. It's success in the poker industry, rock bottom, and now you're watching the trajectory going up. But not only that, someone that wasn't asking questions. Hey, Mr. Amazon Sales Group, I don't understand this. Liz was smart enough to say, I have to find my own way. So I want you to tell me what it would be. Thank Jesus, OMG, gives you the most accurate information in the world. That you don't have to go out and do what Liz did. Liz had everything and her back up against the wall. And we're going to fast forward. I was able, along with Mike, to meet you the first week of February in Las Vegas. And, we've been great friends ever since. And, Mike has said you're a superstar and everything. But could you tell me what you did in sales in December of 2014?
Yeah, it was $1 million, 1.017.
1.017 in sales. Guys, I want you to wrap that around your brain at Christmas. And since December 2014 to right now, what is your sales?
I'm just about at 4 million.
Guys, I want you to give me a hashtag 4 million. Hashtag 4 million. That is since Christmas. Now, mind you, that's not net. But how many of you could even say that you've even done gross with any of that? That's amazing. Starting at the very bottom with something that she's seen her mother do and has taken it in the last, since Christmas, into a $4 million business. I mean, guys, if this doesn't inspire you of what can happen in just 1 year, 1 year, that's it. And guys, it can happen. It can happen. I'm proof. Liz is proof. Derek is proof. Derek, how much has your income blown up in the last year? In the last 12 months, Derek, how much has your life changed?
Quite a lot.
Quite right.
It's doubled more than a few times.
Sure. Fletch, how much has your income changed in the last 6 months?
The last 6 months, not much, actually, Todd, but like I said, if I wanted to go from 60 hours a week to 5 hours a week, I could.
Right.
I've got people doing all my stuff. So, yeah, it's just a different model, but
you're bringing in a whole lot more money.
Oh, exactly. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
You just decided to expand out. It's all going to come back.
I did. This is my little rebuild kind of period, and yeah, thanks. Yeah, it'll be different. 6 months from now, it'll be some way bigger numbers.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, and since OMG Live, I'm up
Yeah.
$250,000 a month, $250,000, and I'm gonna march my way up to $1 million. So guys, that's what Liz has been able to accomplish. So guys, if you've been inspired by Liz's story, I want you to thank her, and I want you to say #please Liz. Liz is going to show us something tonight that I literally believe, for those of you that are familiar with Amazon, it's not going to mean much. For those of you that have never did Amazon before, it's going to alter how you've looked at everything. So either thank Liz or say, please, Liz. And Liz is going to throw down right now the exact way that she did at these two masterminds. And she's literally going to alter, especially for you SEOs. Those of you guys that are on here for Amazon, you're just cheaters. This is an SEO webinar, just so you know. So she's going to throw down, and she's going to take you to church on what she and what I truly believe that when we go over it is going to alter everything. So what I'd like to see is I want you to give me a hashtag yes or a no, and I want you to wait, and I want you to participate because I'd like to see this. And then we're going to check it after this. If you already have, at this moment, a Amazon Seller Central account, I want you to give me hashtag yes. If you do not, I want you to give me a hashtag no. Guys, it's very important. I'd like to see how many people have one and how many people do not. There's a lot of no's right there and a lot of yeses. You see a lot of no's there and a lot of yeses. Looks like it's almost 50-50.
Yeah, it does.
Interesting. There's a lot of no's. Come on, SEOs. I know none of you have an Amazon account. So some of you do. Some of you don't. Well, great. Brad Kellum says, I've never sold anything in it. Now, the next question is everyone is answered. Now, here's the real question. I answer no. I don't have an Amazon Seller Central. I don't. So the next question is like this. The same people that answered this question, I only want you to answer if you... Ty, come on. Ty says maybe. By the way, guys, Ty got married in Los Angeles and got divorced on the same day. I'm just throwing her personal life out there, but it's true.
It's true. I saw it.
Yeah, I saw it too. So, guys, here's the second part of the question, is that I want to know, and only give me a hashtag if this is true. If you have made money on Amazon, give me a hashtag yes. I don't want to see the no's. I just want to see the yeses. If you've actually made $1 on Amazon. Interesting. That's a lot of people. Okay. I didn't realize we had that many people that's made money on Amazon. I think Fletch and I. Fletch, how could you? You just said you don't have an account. Come on.
Hey, I sell as an associate, dude. I sell other people's products.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
So, guys, give me a no, a hashtag no, if you've never sold anything on Amazon before. I want to see you guys. There we go. There's my SEOs right there. There's a lot of no's. Look at that, Liz.
Yeah, there's a lot of them.
Right. Good. That's exactly what I expected. So there's a lot. So guys, what we're going to do is I want you to hold tight, because the first thing we're going to do for people like Cliff, for people like Don, Jason, Greg, Jim, Travis, and all you other guys, including myself, Liz is going to walk us through, and you're going to want to watch a replay on this, how to set up our Amazon Seller Central. Then what Liz is going to do is she's going to show us something afterwards that after you set this account up, you're going to be making money off Amazon in the next 14 days with just 2 more items. If you want to see that, give me a hashtag hell yes. That's all I want to see, guys. I want to see that you're excited about this before we turn the screen over to this. If you want to know, guys, type no. How you can make money on Amazon in the next 14 days and enough money to pay for your OMG membership. I want you to give me a hashtag hell yes. And Liz, you can see all the hashtag hell yeses coming in.
Hell yes.
Yeah, there's not a lot of churchgoers here because they're saying hell yes. at least we know. So, Liz, I'm going to turn it over to you, and I want you to show us exactly how to set up an Amazon Seller Central account, and I have turned it over to you.
Okay, can you see my screen, Cotton?
Hold on. Not yet.
Okay, now it's saying. Okay, let me know if you can see my screen.
It's still coming. I can see it now, yes.
Okay, so cool. So the number one thing that everybody has to do if they want to start selling on Amazon, they're going to actually see just how simple this is. And like I said, I got started with sending items in from my garage. So I'm pretty sure a lot of us out there have things laying around in their garage or in their, even in their room. I sent in so many books that first shipment that they just constantly kept selling. So what you're going to need is an Amazon account, and in order to get that Amazon account, the primary thing you're going to need is an email address. So in order to create that Amazon account, you have you could do it from 2 different places. You can go to Amazon.com, and at the far bottom left-hand corner, it's going to say sell on Amazon. Let me pull that up. So you can go all the way to the bottom here, and right here it says sell on Amazon. So you can either do that and or go to sellercentral.amazon.com and click into register now. So it'll take you to the same screen either way you choose, and you're going to have a couple different options. The first option is you can sell as a professional and or sell as an individual. So let me just talk about what the difference is. When you're going to sell as a professional, there is a $39.99 fee per month, but you get a month free. There are additional fees, but that's on this particular account. And what they're talking about here is there's usually like an Amazon referral fee, which I think comes out to about 15%. I'm not even exactly sure what the total amount is. But this is if you're going to sell as a professional. And there's another one that's called an individual account. And on this individual account, you get charged $1 per item that you sell. And so if you plan on doing this on the individual, you don't get a month free. So what I would highly recommend is if you plan on selling more than 40 items, I would recommend the professional, especially because of the fact that you get a month free. Even if you don't, I would still recommend the professional just for the fact that you do get the month free. My brother, actually, who I taught how to do this, in his first month, he actually signed up as an individual, and as a result of that, he thought he wasn't going to sell more than the actual 40 items, and he wound up selling a total of 72 items in his first month. So he kind of looking back, he was like, I should have taken the professional account, but he didn't. So again, with the professional, you get the month free, and you can cancel at any point after that, and they won't charge you the $39.99. So pretty much after you go to that and you click on Sell as a Professional, you'll get this screen here where you're required to just put your email address and then just go ahead and hit create a new account. Now you don't really want to use your personal Amazon account because you want to use it separately, but I do know some people that have, so I usually just create different ones. I have quite a few different Amazon accounts. I'd only create one per household unless you ask Amazon, because if not, they'll block both accounts. It's part of their terms of service. So you want to just put in your email address and hit create new account, and then the next screen that you go to is going to ask you for your first and last name and your email address and then a password. So pretty simple. All that stuff is pretty simple, and nobody should have any problem with that. This next step, you're going to have to create a legal name. That can actually be your first name if you have no legal entity put together. So it's entirely up to you how you do that. At some point in time, you can actually change this within your Amazon account. So if you want to go ahead and just put your legal name there for now, you can go ahead and do that. And then go ahead and check off the I have read and accepted the terms and service, the agreement. So up to that point, again, still pretty simple. Cotton, you pretty clear on all it?
Yeah, very, 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 very clear. Great
Okay,
job.
so I know you know the audience well, so I'll ask you just in case you think they might have any questions.
Sure. Guys, any questions so far? Any questions on setting this up? No, none. Give me a one. Give me a hashtag one if everything's crystal clear so far. Great.
Okay, awesome. So the next step, and this is usually the step that holds people up the longest, and that's coming up with the store name. So this store name is just going to be displayed. It can be really anything that you want. Just check the availability. It could be like Cotton's store. It could be Liz's store, whatever you want it to be, and then check availability. Don't let it hold you up, because at some point in time, if you want, you can actually change this name. It's not set in stone. You can change it at any point. Go ahead and put your address in, the country you're selling in, the phone, which is U.S., your phone number, and then your main product category. The primary reason they want to know this is just to make sure you're not selling in a restricted category, and or if you are choosing a restricted category, which just basically means that some categories require approval, and it's really not difficult to get into a lot of the categories. That approval could be like invoices from your supplier and or like receipts from stores. They typically take things like that. So just pick the main category. I think toys is pretty open right now, so I would just pick like toys or office supplies. I'm trying to think of another one that's pretty open. Kitchen, just pick something like that. Number of products you want to sell. I would probably just pick something like 100 to 500 or something like that. I'm sorry, it's a total number. Yeah, 50 to 100 would be good. Anything like that. Just whatever you think you're actually going to do, go ahead and put that, which can be quite a bit of products, to be quite honest, if you go out regularly. Right here wants to know if you're going to sell any of the brands. Really, it's optional. You don't have to do that. I usually just put yes, and then just go ahead and hit save and continue. And so pretty much everything, again, is pretty straightforward. Right here, they're going to need your credit card number in order to bill you, and or if you have any fees. So just go ahead and put all your credit card information, country, phone number, all that. And then finally, they're going to want to verify your identity. So they're going to either want to call you up or send you a text message and give you a number, and then you'll just enter it. After Call Me Now, it kind of shows you what the whole phone verification is. And so you'll do that step and then go to the next step, which is going to be the tax interview. So again, this is another part where people usually get stuck on, but it's actually pretty simple. All you have to do is go ahead to start, and it's going to ask you if you're a U.S. person. If you are, just go ahead and hit yes. If no, you're going to need to create a U.S. type bank account, and you can use a service like Payoneer. So if you're in another country, you can still do this, but again, you're going to have to figure out how you can actually get inventory into Amazon. And there's several services that are available using that, so you can actually order online. But again, that's for another webinar. Right here, right here, you'll pick sole proprietorship, S Corp, C Corp, or LLC. If you're just doing it under your name, you'll just pick sole proprietor, put your name in, and then this is just optional. And then again, here you want to put the address country, which in most cases is going to be USA.
Great.
Finally, you'll just want to verify that the information on your W-9 will show correctly. So it'll have your name. If there's a business name, it'll have the individual or whatever that you selected checked off here. And then it'll have your address. So once you verify that that's okay, you'll just click through there, and then this will say you just give them consent to actually send you a 1099 electronically. You'll just consent to it and consent to provide an electronic signature, hit submit, and then you'll be in this last setup screen, which mine actually didn't look like that. Let me show you. Mine looked like this because I skipped all the steps just to screen capture them. But if you did it properly and put in all the information, it'll look similar to this, where it'll tell you your business name, your credit card number, it'll say completed here, and then you'll hit complete registration, and pretty much that's it. At that point, you will have an Amazon account and be ready to sell. So that's step one.
Great. So this completes setting up our account?
Right, and it literally takes maybe 10 minutes tops, Cotton. That's it.
Great. So guys, I don't expect you to get all this through. I'm going to get the replay up, and I'm going to get it over to David as soon as possible, probably tonight. So I'll have it up tomorrow. So, but guys, tell me this, and I'm going to tell you why getting this up is so important. And you're going to hear about this deal over the next few months. I have a protein company that is out of St. Louis that's done $28 million. They want to put their products on Amazon. So I'm doing a Shark Tank type deal with them to where I'm going to get their products on Amazon, and I'm going to take 10% of their business along with handle all of their SEO. Now, guys, I want you to go over to the Facebook group, and I want you to tell me if you want deals like that. Just put hashtag deal. Hashtag deal. If you want me to show you how to do deals like that, to where you can rock out deals. Now, I want you to think about how much money I'm going to make. It's sick. Guys, this is why it is so important for you to learn how to do this, do it correctly, and to do it fluidly. So that's why we're going this over. Liz is a master at Amazon. So she's showing you over the shoulder how to get this account set up. It's rare that you would even have someone of her success showing you how to just set this up to make sure we're doing it right. So you're going to have to go through and you're going to have to watch it. But guys, I'm just telling you, you SEOs, I know I got your attention when I told you that the deal that I'm doing. Well, just think about it. What if you went into a business and they had their own product, and now you just don't have SEO in your weapons, but you've got, let's put the product on Amazon and take a percentage of it. That's what's crazy. So I'm going to be doing a lot more deals, and I'm going to show you the possibilities of what you can do. Is taking percentages of businesses, which is ultimately what we want to do. It literally turns you into your own Shark Tank. So whether you're wanting to go the Amazon product route or SEOs, I know where you're at. You might be going, well, it might not be me. It's vitally important for you to get this account set up and to get it valid so you know what you're doing. So when you get in front of a client, you're able to do this correctly and you're able to know how to do it 100%. So guys, if that makes sense, for all you SEOs that have never done this, can you give me a commitment that you're going to get this account up in the next 7 days? Just give me hashtag promise. Because I want you, I want to know, because I'm going to make you show me your account. You know, if we're going to deep down dig into how we're going to take percentages of businesses. There's a lot of stuff I R&D that I don't show or do anything. So guys, I want you to work on this. Literally, I want you within the next 7 days. By the time we have assimilation next week, I want you to even post in Facebook. I might start a thread. Liz, whenever you get off here, I want you to start a thread in the Facebook group, and I want you to say, from the assimilation webinar, all of you that didn't have an account up, is your account up? I want to know if they've got their account up. So,
all right, I definitely will do that.
That's kind of like a progress report. It's not an income report. And then we're going to do one step further, because now that we've shown you why it's so important to have this up, guys, listen, it's one of the top 3 companies in the world. We know who they are. It's Google, Apple, Amazon. That's it. Who else? They pretty much control all of commerce. You think about it. So something as powerful as Amazon, you need to know how to get this account up. I also am going to get my account up by the end of business day tomorrow, which I don't have yet. So I'm going to go back and watch a replay just like you. I'm in the same position that you are. So I've got to learn this because I fly out to talk to these people in a couple weeks. And the deal's a done deal. They're friends of mine that I've met through SEO, and they're not going with anyone else. So just think about it. If you could get a $28 million company and take 10%, that would be amazing. You would be set. You'd almost sit back and do nothing else. But obviously I won't. So what we're going to do is now, we've shown you how to set up your Amazon account. We're going to take you into phase 2. Guys, I want you to open up your mind about this. Those of you that already know about Amazon are going to go, oh. But those of you that don't, it's going to change and alter how you look at everything together. This is going to show you, Liz is going to show you how with two items that I know you have, and we're going to do a checkoff right now. Guys, if you have a smartphone, give me a hashtag smartphone. I want to know how many people actually have a smartphone. It should be all of you. And if you don't, God help you if you're an SEO or Amazon. Everybody should have a smartphone. It's very important. And I think that 99% of you do. And if not, I don't even know how you're an OMG. I mean, how you're checking your emails or your rankings or anything. I just don't. I couldn't live without my phone. Could you, Liz?
Oh, no way. I mean, where would we have been in Vegas? We would have had to send each other smoke signals.
Yeah. I mean, I'm at one end of the club. You're at another one. We got to send a text message, for God's sake. You still have to light the place on fire, like you said, or, break a bottle of Jack Daniels over Fletch's head and light him on fire. Throw him out in the crowd. I'm sure we would have seen each other. Sorry, Fletch. You were just a good prop for the joke. You know I love you. But sure. So, guys, everyone's got a smartphone. We already know that. Now, what we're going to do is the second key to this is you're going to need to download an app. And Liz, I want you to walk through us. And then before she gets started, guys, especially you SEOs, I want you to keep an open mind on this. You've got teenagers. You've got a wife. You've got a lot of people that can benefit from this. Am I going to tell you that you're going to use this specific method and go out and create millions of dollars? You can if Liz takes you to the next step and shows you what part 2 is. But right now, we're going baby steps. We want you to walk before you run. And how excited would you be if Liz is getting ready to show you how you can get a product up on Amazon with the click of a button, and how you can start making a profit in Amazon in the next 14 days. Would you be excited about that? Give me a hashtag boom. Give me a hashtag boom if like you want to know that. As I'm telling you, guys, this is what I'm talking about that's going to change everything. For those of you right now that are just starting out with OMG or just starting out with online marketing, guys, what we're getting ready to show you can fuel buying your PBNs. It can fuel paying for OMG. It can fuel doing many other things. For those of you that are just getting started in Amazon, this is your entry doorway to getting into making money. And guys, you know that if it's on assimilation, that we don't talk about anything unless it works. So what we're going to do is right now, we're going to hand it over to Liz. And she's going to show you how to put a cell phone in your hand and go out and make a killing. A killing, I'm like talking about a few $1,000. But still, it's better than where some of you are at right now. But before we get started, I want to see this because I want you to remember where you learned this from. If you've never made $1 online, I don't want you to post it in the Facebook thread. I want you to post it inside of the chat box in the thread where just me, Liz, and Derek and Fletch can see it. If you've never made $1 online, give me a number 8. Give me a number 8. Liz, there's a lot of 8s there. Some people have never made $1 online. Look at that.
Well, this is going to be the easiest way to ever make $1 online. I can tell them that much. It's unbelievable.
Right. So we like literally have probably about 75 people that have never made $1 online. And thank you for being honest for like those of you guys that posted it on there. There's no shame in that. I was there a year and a half ago. That's why you're here, is to learn, and we're here to teach you. We're not here to judge you. We're here to show you how we're going to take you, and Liz is going to show you how you're going to make your first $1 online. And it's going to be the easiest that you've ever seen. So Liz, please take it away. Show us how to make the money.
So the app that you guys are going to want to download is an app from a company called Seller Engine, and it's called Profit Bandit. You can get it in the iTunes store, or you can get it in the Google Play Store, just depending on whether you have Android or iPhone. So you'll just need to pay for it. It is $9.99 a month. So the first step that you do is you go to the Play Store or iTunes and you just search Profit Bandit, and it should pop up. And then just go ahead and go through the steps of installing it. So once you install it, it's going to ask you to log into that Amazon account that you created and create something called an MWS token, which it'll take you through everything step by step. So it takes you through all the steps. You get that all created. It links it to your actual Amazon account. And then after you do that, you're actually able to scan any barcode that you go to any store, or like I talked about earlier, I was doing it with the books that were actually in my house. And also just, we actually had a lot of, my mom had some dolls that she had bought and still had kept. You know, sometimes we collect things. I'm just talking about people in general. And at the time, like I told everyone, we were sort of in the desperate phase, so we were willing to sell those things that we had kind of like collected throughout the years. So we were scanning those to see what would actually work out. So once you get that linked up together, what winds up happening is you get this app called Profit Bandit installed. Let me show you what it sort of looks like. And this is Profit Bandit. So what you're going to need to do is make a couple adjustments on Profit Bandit. And again, like Khan said, you're probably going to need to rewatch this because it's kind of hard to go through in real time, but you still might be able to. So it sort of looks like this, you can see in the background, and there's actually two ways to get to these settings. Again, this is the Android version. The iPhone it might slightly vary, but it's still going to be somewhat similar. So you click on these three dots, and this brings up this menu. The other way to get to this is by clicking on this puzzle piece, and once you click on that puzzle piece, the three dots are on the bottom. So you click through there and you click on settings, and once you're in settings, you're going to see a bunch of different check boxes that are available to check off, and you're going to need to check off a couple of these boxes. Make sure that it gives you the right calculation for profit. So you'll need to make sure that this is unchecked. If just uncheck it. It probably might be checked, but you don't want this checked off. And again, I do talk about this in the Amazon videos. You'll also want to make sure that the FB seller is checked off so that it will calculate the fees that you'll be charged. And then if you scroll on down, you'll want to click through this and make sure all these are ticked off. And right now, like I said, don't really too much worry about what these are for. Just go to make sure they sort of match so that you can scan properly and get the right profit. And finally, this is what it sort of looks like. So once you get all those settings done properly, this is the scan button that I was talking about. When you click on this, it actually opens up a scan, like a barcode scanner thing that will go ahead and take a picture of any barcode, and then it'll populate the information like you see here. You can also search the item up here in the search bar. So in this case here, I was searching for Sugar Cookie Pop-Tart, and then you can go ahead and hit the little done button here, and it'll start searching for it. So in this case, I either scanned it or I searched it in, and then I got this listing. But a lot of times, some items will have several listings. So in the case of this Pop-Tart, let me try to make this as big as possible. I think that's as large as it'll get. It came out with several different particular versions, and when we were out in the field, some of the footage that Mike released, there was a couple different ways that you can actually sell this. Either one box and or two boxes, which is the one that we selected in the example, So sometimes you need to just click on through each of them and take a look and see. You want to first gravitate towards those that have the lowest BSR. And the BSR right here, it stands for bestseller rank. What that means is the lower it is, more likely to sell quickly. And again, that could be all left. It's a big debate actually what that means. I go over it specifically in the actual Amazon video. So that just know that you're looking for the ones that actually have the lower number. So this 17,000 one first attracted us. We clicked through it when we were in the field, but that one box sold for $6 something, and we were paying $1.25 at Big Lots. So this second one was at 68,000 rank in grocery, and it was 2 packages of 12. So we knew our cost was $2.50. So we clicked through on that, and this is the information we got there. So let me briefly describe what this all is.
Hey Liz, not to interrupt you, but I want to make sure that everyone's following us thus far. You've been doing an amazing job. Guys, what we're talking about doing is right now is when you load this app on your phone, you're going to go, and I don't think we've explained to him exactly what this is called. It's called retail arbitrage. What you're doing is you're going to stores, which is Big Lots, Ross. You're going to, what's that Tuesday store? It's called Tuesdays?
Yeah, we went to Tuesday morning, but you can also remember, Cotton, if you have a lower budget, you can go to swap meets or thrift stores.
Sure.
And or garage sales is always a good one.
So what we're doing is, guys, is I want you to tell me this doesn't blow your mind. You've got this app on your phone. You take it out, and that's what Liz is showing you right now. You scan the barcode of a particular product. It tells you, if you'll look on the screen right now, it will tell you the profit you will make. And guys, here is the kicker. Once you scan it, all you have to do is hit that sell it button. It automatically goes for sale on Amazon. That's it. Now, guys, tell me that isn't as easy as it gets. If this doesn't blow you away, that all you have to go out while you're shopping, put your phone in your wife's hand with this app, scanning products while she's out doing this. She could find a sale on something. When Liz and I went out with Mike, we found Pop-Tarts that were dirt cheap, like 75 cents. They were selling for way more. We would have bought, I don't know, what was it, Liz? 20 boxes of Pop-Tarts? We would have made,
or something.
Yeah, we would have ended up making $15. Imagine if your teenager, your wife, your son, your daughter who's 16 years old, you want to work at a McDonald's, you want to put a phone in their hand. Get them out doing this, and with one click of a button, it's being sold on Amazon. Guys, if this isn't a hashtag mind blown, if you've never seen this before, do it now. Give me a hashtag mind blown. Because I never knew that you could take a phone, scan a product, hit a button, and it's sold on Amazon. But not only that, it's telling you how much profit you're going to make when it goes up. So just think about it. You can walk around the store and just scan different things and find out how much things cost, how much money you're going to make. If you're going to make for larger items, if you're going to make $10 or $15, pick up 15 of them. You've made $150. Guys, do that 6 times. OMG membership paid for. Do that a few times or a few hours out of the week. You got your car payment paid for. Who knows? You can put your wife out if she needs a part-time job. You think she's going to be upset about going out shopping and paying the mortgage? No, it's crazy. So guys, if you don't understand what we're just showing you right now, I don't know how to better explain it to you. So guys, please let me know that you understand what I'm saying. Give me a hashtag clear or mind blown. I want to know that you're understanding what we're teaching you right now, that it's very, 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 very clear. And guys, we have almost 600 people on. I want to see it. And Liz, we're getting a lot. It says a little bit of overwhelming. That's okay. Guys, here's the great part about this also. Liz already, she's a sneaky little devil. She's already slid these modules inside of OMG SEOers, and you didn't even know it. The modules are already up. So you can go in, that's right, whoa. You can go in and start watching them right after this webinar. So that is what's crazy. So guys, tell me, that this can't make your first money online. And I'll say that you're lazy or you just don't care. So we're getting a lot of feedback, Liz, because I'm watching on my screen right now. It's flying in. There's people, wow. I think Scott Bender just passed out. I can dial 911 because he is in Orlando. We can save him. So it's all good. Matt Like Rose is thanking you. Pat saying that you're the bomb. People are freaking out right now that they can actually make money like this by taking out their phone, scanning a product, and going, zoop, you're going to make $6 off this. Oh,
yeah, and you know what, Con? I don't even think we were in Big Lots that long when we found this product.
right. And this is called, if you don't know, retail arbitrage. So SEOs, I don't want you to sit here and think that I expect you to stop doing SEO and go out doing this, but damn it, you need to get your seller account central set up, and you need to put this in someone you know's hands and get them going. And here's what I want to challenge you. That's right. It's a new reason to go to Marshall's. You are right. Liz like does rock. So my whole thing is this, guys. I want to challenge all of you to do this, and I'm going to let Liz continue with this. What I want to challenge you is this. I want to challenge you to go out and to get at least 10 or 15 products loaded up on here and sell them. And I want your $5, $20, $30, $50 income report. I want it. I want you to send it to Mike. I want you to send it to me. I want you to send it to Liz. I want these real income reports of people making real money online. Not some of these fairy tale SEOs. You know who we're talking about. That you know that there's no way on earth. When you listen to them talk, you know there's no way they're making over 10K a month, and you still don't know how they've done that. They say they're making 100K. You know who I'm talking about. So my thing is, this is real right here. This is real. You can put it in your grandma's hands. If grandma's got a wheelchair and if she's got it, put it in her hands and spin her around Walmart. Right, Liz?
Absolutely.
That's right. So this is what I'm talking about, guys. So if you're not excited about this, I don't even know why you're in OMG. So with that, I'm going to let Liz continue on. I just wanted to let you know, that's right, hashtag put grandma to work. That's right, spin her around Walmart or even Big Lots. Big Lots is great. Grandma loves Big Lots. Liz, does grandmas love Big Lots?
Absolutely. They love them.
That's right. So guys, what you do is you find places like Ross, TJ Maxx, Big Lots, even Walmart. And Liz, aren't you going to share us a little trick here after you get done showing this of what they should be going out right now scanning? Right after this
we're going to go after something that's really sexy right now at this time of year.
Hold tight, guys. We're going to let Liz continue. I just wanted to make sure that you guys were with me because I knew that a lot of you SEOs, I know how you are, you were dead in the eyes. So now I think I woke you up. Putting wifey with a phone and scanning around and pointing her to Walmart and you're making money is not a bad idea. So please continue, Liz. I apologize.
And you know, one thing I wanted to say about the overwhelming part is that I just wanted to tell everybody that I met a guy in OMG or at OMG Dallas, and I talked to him about 20 or 30 minutes, just kind of gave him tips on how to use ProfitBen and how to do this. And just a couple days ago, he sent me an earnings report that he had gotten everything in, and he was at $400 in sales already. So that's a guy that just literally, I gave him 20 minutes of quick advice, wow. And he was able to dissect everything based off of that. So don't be overwhelmed by how it looks. It's actually pretty darn simple.
It is.
So okay. So with that being said, this is the product that we found at Big Lots. And here on this screen, it shows the title. It gives you a lot of different options. When you click the title, you can look at this on a lot of different websites to do like research, things like that. This is like the settings, and also to connect your phone to a Bluetooth scanner, which is an option that you'll want to definitely pick up when you want to take this a little bit more serious. This one will show you all your previously scanned items, so you can actually go back at the end of the day and see what you scanned, and this will open it up inside of Amazon. Right here is the bestseller rank, which again I cover extensively in those videos. Just know the lower the better it's selling sales velocity wise, meaning just the speed of sales. This shows the category. Some categories are restricted again, watch those videos, and I'll talk about what you can and cannot sell. Here's a picture of the item. Right here, these are all the sellers that have this listed FBA. Right here in the green is sellers that have this listed merchant fulfilled. And what that basically means is when you get this ready and send it off to Amazon, you get all your items together in several boxes and send them off to Amazon. And you do get their partnered shipping rate, so it's a really good deal that you get for shipping. It's very cheap. This is the price that they have these items sitting in the Amazon warehouse ready to deliver to somebody's house. So that means they're fulfilled by Amazon, versus these green ones will be fulfilled by merchant, meaning you will have to personally mail them to each buyer. So that's the differences there. In grocery, you don't have to worry about used or collectibles, so that's only in some categories like toys, and I believe kitchen as well is one of those. And again, this is the sell button. I really never use these two buttons. The sell button will load it up into your inventory and get it ready to prep and ship out to Amazon. So on this next example, I just wanted to show these are like the possibilities. Here is a Furby. In most cases, like in here, they have these little letters on the side, which basically stand for like new is LN, very good is VG, A is acceptable, G is good, and this one here would be new. So you can send toys that are used and they're in different condition, like these that are good and very good possibly don't have boxes, versus the brand new ones would be boxed up. So literally you can send old toys and collectibles. That's what I used to actually pick up at garage sales. And this one has a BSR of 9,300, meaning that this Furby sells pretty well. And again, right here I forgot to go over the buy costs. Here you would enter how much you paid for it, and then it will show you what you profit. Again, here are the abbreviations: acceptable, good, very good, like new, and new. And right here, this one I wanted to bring up this example because it shows this little orange box with the A on the side. And what that basically means is Amazon selling it. Now, when Amazon's selling something, you really have to consider whether or not you want to sell it, because they are like the 800-pound gorilla, and they'll really use some pretty crazy tactics in order to always keep that buy box. So typically the only time I like to sell something that Amazon's selling is when it's a really hot seller with a really low BSR, and or during Christmas, because I know they're going to run out pretty quickly because things sell about 5 to 6 times as fast during Christmas. So I just wanted to bring this one up so you see that in this category, Amazon is competing for that buy box, and they are currently the buy box winner at $18.79. And finally, what I wanted to go over here is how this profit calculation comes up. So again, this is based off of the settings we changed in the back end, and you'll definitely want to go through the videos of how I set that up. But it tells you what the actual sale price is based on these little boxes, and what Amazon's charging you to ship it out to the customer, as well as like their storage fee and their 15% commission fee that I talked about earlier. The last thing that I wanted to just mention here is the way you set the price right here to calculate the profit is you just tap whatever price you want to set it for on your smartphone. So in this case, if we wanted to sell this at $22.98, we would just touch the $22.98 with our finger, and it would recalculate the profit here. And same thing for you can change it to $25.64 or $18.79 or really whatever you want based off of these numbers. And it's pretty simple. Like I said, it's a little overwhelming when I'm going over with it in slides, but if you just go out there and do it, just like that kid did in Dallas, you really shouldn't have a problem. And you're going to realize that, yeah, you might have to scan 30 items to find a good one, or maybe even 20. Usually when I scan about 50 to 60 items, I find about 6 or 7 that I really want to sell and send in Amazon. It's still worth it because at some stores you'll find multiples of those items, and so you'll make that profit. You know, in the case of the Pop-Tarts, I believe that day we found something like 28 Pop-Tarts where we would make $2.35 off of each of them. So that's almost like $70 that we would have made just in those 15 to 20 minutes that we were in Big Lots off of one item. That doesn't include the rest of the items had we scanned for a full hour. So again, it's really simple. And I don't know if if you want to see if anyone's got any questions, Cotton.
Yeah, they want to know if shipping costs are involved in this.
They are, but again, like I said, you get their partnered shipping rate, so it could be ridiculously cheap. For like a 40-pound box that I was sending in full of books, I was paying something like $20. So it usually comes out to about 30 cents per item that you get charged, because you get Amazon's partnered fees. They have like a deal going with UPS, whereas if you're sending it to them, you get really low fees in terms of shipping.
Great. So you do have the modules already uploaded in OMG that explains this, correct?
Right. The modules are all up.
Great.
The last one, which I just completed today, and I'll be sending over to Mike and David, will be sent by this evening, and that's just to show them how to pack it up and
Great.
ship it in and tell Amazon that it's on its way.
So guys, you've already got modules that you can go to right after this webinar to watch more detail along with this webinar itself. So don't panic if you aren't getting anything right now. Just don't panic. So Liz, just for the speed of, we already know that we have modules up with this. Is there anything else that you need to go with to explain in Profit Bandit?
No, that's absolutely it. That's all you need. Like I said, it's really simple. Once you start just scanning things and get the hang of it, you'll be, it's like it becomes second nature to you. It's one of the easiest things that you'll ever learn, literally.
So guys, let's get this straight. To make money, all you need is an Amazon Seller Central account, a cell phone, an app. Guys, you don't even need a car. You can pedal your bicycle over there. You can steal a donkey and ride that thing straight to Big Lots and start scanning stuff. Just think about that. I mean, that's all you got to do. So, guys, tell me, give me a hashtag easy money if this isn't some of the easiest money. And you know what? There's some guys that's had a great idea also. He said all these spending sprees that his wife goes on, he's just going to scan those puppies and put them right back on Amazon and recoup his money.
You good. That's a genius idea.
Same with you wives. Your husband goes out and buys a TV. He acts up. Scan that thing. Throw it on Amazon. Get rid of it. You've just made some profit. But we want to see the income report afterwards. Just send it to us. So, guys, please, if this isn't easy money, I don't know what is. And yes, James Cluster, you too can steal a donkey and go to Big Lots. It's possible. You don't even need a car. That's what's crazy about this. A phone and an app, and you need to go to the store. Liz,
Right.
I even think you could put a sail on a skateboard and get there, couldn't you?
You could. Or you can even do something that a lot of people are doing nowadays, is buy stuff on the internet.
Imagine that. God forbid you buy it from the internet. Just sit in your underwear and just order stuff and then just turn around and resell it. That's too easy, right? So I think everyone is we already have someone says that he's he's getting off the webinar and driving to Walmart right now. So Liz, you said you had one tip to help people with items to scan, because everyone's going to get into a store and they're going to go, what the hell should I focus on? You know, you got people like James Cluster who's going to start scanning Fruit of the Looms, but he's going to realize he might not make a lot of money off that. The Tidy Whities don't make a lot of money on there, so he might need to scan other things that are red hot. So, Liz, what do you recommend that's red hot, as you said, hashtag sexy, to start selling right now?
Right. So the number one thing that I recommend right now, and typically what I recommend people do, is think about what season they're in. And right now what's really hot is, in addition to this, is also you can find a lot of clearance items of patio and lawn and garden, but it's back to school. So I try to look at products that are hot in terms of like characters. So one of my favorite, that's always one of my favorites to sell, is Despicable Me. These Minion folders usually sell in Walmart for like 97 cents each, and then you can turn around some. Right now, these guys yesterday, they had some in stock that was Prime, which is Amazon FBA, and now they're out of stock. So these people are actually merchant fulfilling them, and these sell really well. Right here, this guy has a 3-pack, which would have cost him $3 for $14.55. And getting closer into the school coming up, these tend to sell a lot faster. And then they also tend to sell all the way through Christmas, because if you think about kids that have these folders and then lose one at school and then are really upset about it, and now their mom can't find it at Walmart, they're going to be willing to pay $15 for 3 folders. So you can go to Walmart right now and go into the it would be in the schools section, which is usually in the seasonal stuff, and find character folders and scan them and see what actually comes up. So back to school stuff is some of my favorite things to sell. Right now I've got quite a bit of Frozen. You'll see that in the video that I just made today that I'll be sending to David later this evening. I scan a Frozen set of notebooks and pencils, and that's one of the things that I'm sending in one of my next shipments.
Guys, you just heard it right there. Liz just gave you the tip of this season right now. Back to school's red hot. Head to anywhere where they have characters. It's what kids are going to want. They're crying for Despicable Me stuff. Oh, Avengers isn't hot. Oh, Ant-Man's not hot either. Don't mess with that. And no one wants Guardians of the Galaxy either, right, Liz?
Yeah, they don't want Jurassic Park World or whatever it was called either.
They don't. So when you find these things for 50 cents or even 25 cents and you're able to scan it and find out that these people are spending $9 for 3 of these, that you got an instant $8, tell me that you guys aren't getting excited about this, about putting, you know what, guys? If you've ever been to Vegas before, they have these Mexicans that are snapping and handing out cards. You want to just load up a truckload of Mexicans with cell phones and run them into stores and just think about that. You could really make a lot of money, but I don't want you to do that just yet. I want you to make money for yourself. For yourself. Guys, this can pay for OMG. This can pay for a car. This can pay for your mortgage. This can absolutely fund your PBNs. So think about that. So Liz just gave you an amazing tip. Guys, this is the hottest thing that I've seen in all of 2015. You know what? Thank God we've got Liz on our side. This is the sort of stuff that a lot of you guys are not going to get information towards being an SEO. But how great is it to have this sort of information, to know how to set up your Seller Central account, to know that now while you're out, you could be making money too. Some guys do bigger items, don't they, Liz?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the sky's pretty much the limit for what you want to do. You just sort of have to, it even benefits you if you just pick a niche and you want to focus strictly in that niche. There's some niches that I'm just really good at, and I usually don't deviate from them just because I do so well and I know them that well. So it's amazing when you can actually do that.
Guys, if you have been blown away and inspired by Liz's story, even more blown away by what she's been able to share with us tonight, we still have well over 600 people on here. I want to see you thank her. Hashtag thank you, Liz. Guys, she's been extremely generous. She has shown us exactly how all of you can make money. Guys, we're going to dig in deeper. I need all of you guys that said no, that you don't have that Seller Central set up. I need you to set that thing up. You don't know how valuable it is. Guys, if I told you, you say, hey, have you ever seen a Hulk green Corvette? And you go, no, I haven't. Well, guess what? You'll see one in the next week. That's how it is. When your head's on a swivel, when you're paying attention to something, you'll notice it. And that's what it is with this. You're going to start looking at items when you go in the store in a different way now that you have this information. You're going to know that when you see an item that's on sale, no matter what it is, that you might be able to make some money off of it, or send your wife back to take care of it. Or maybe you've got a teenage son. Put him to work for you. Get him doing it. Split the profits with him. It's better than sending him to flipping burgers at White Castle or Pizza Hut. God, you don't want to driving around delivering pizzas with drunk drivers and other stuff. Come on, it's crazy. This is how he can make his part-time money and even put himself through college. Have an income through college. It's a smart way to do it. Share it with someone that you know. Get them inside of OMG. And guys, the modules are already up. That's the whole thing. So guys, we're not getting near enough thank yous for Liz. She has absolutely been very, very, very generous. Please do so. So Liz, on behalf of all of us, man, we thank you for sharing this with us. We're glad that you're a part of the OMG team, and it's been a pleasure getting to know you. We've become very close friends, and I look forward to just hanging out more and learning more from you as like time goes on.
Awesome. Thank you, Cotton. The feeling's mutual. You're a pretty awesome, amazing person. I'm honored to be called your friend. Thank you.
You're welcome. Hey, guys, that is pretty much going to wrap everything up. You ought to be exhausted after this one. absolutely exhausted. And next week, guys, as of this point, we are planning on doing, and if you're excited about this, if Liz didn't top off all of 2015 with this webinar, was showing you how you don't even have to know SEO to make money. Guys, that's the best part about it is you don't have to know anything. You don't have to learn anything or do anything. Load this app on your phone, start scanning stuff, get it your social account up, you're making money. It isn't like go buy a PBN, make sure I set it up right, make sure this link goes there, make that. This makes it easy. So we've shown you how to make money easy. But next week, don't hold me to it, but if you're excited about this, who wants to be around for Fact or Fiction Part 2? Give me a hashtag hell yeah. Give me a hashtag hell yeah, because we know what happened last time. We found out some things about some of the coaches that maybe we really didn't want to know. But that's what we'll be doing next week. We're going to be doing Part 2 of Fact or Fiction. And we have got a lot of amazing questions lined up for you. I had over 300 questions. We were only able to get through 70. So we have a lot of incredible questions. But as of right now, for those of you that need to, tuck in little kids or give the wife a kiss goodnight before you go to bed, you're welcome to go. But right now, we're going to do something a little different. We're going to go into hashtag after credits. That's when I just cut things off the webinar. It's not even on the recording. We're dark. So guys, if you want hashtag after credits, I need to see about 300 of these. 300 of these, because guess who's going to be taking over hashtag after credits? Derek is. That's right. Derek is. Derek, you think they're going to be pleased with what you're going to show them?
Yeah, I'm hoping so.
You hope so?
Yeah, I hope so.
I
never know what's going to go on, really.
Oh, I know what's going to go on. These, thank God that you're not living in the United States, because you don't dial 911. What do you dial over there?
911.
Seriously? Canada dials 911 too?
Seriously.
Oh, I didn't know. I thought you guys would do 784 or something.
No.
Just to shake it up. So guys, let's just put it this way. The official webinar is over. Derek, I'm going to turn the screen over to you. I think we need about 50 more hashtag after credits. Looks like we've got some holdouts. No one wants to hear what you've got to say about how they can improve their SEO. And they're coming in slowly. So I will go ahead and make you the presenter, and I will let you take this over, buddy.
Okay. All right, so I'm bringing my buddy and partner Todd Spears online right now as well. He's a partner on this project. You might have seen it floating around a little bit on Facebook. We have Juicy Domains, and we're launched just a few days ago, and we're still in beta kind of testing. So we're limiting it just to OMG members right now. And the whole goal of this was to try to save money on PBNs, and this is also going to help replace, if you're using Register Compass or Dome Cop, any of those auction services. And we're just trying to bring the cost down for especially our members, and also have a unique ability to get domains from brokers and affiliates that are just, they're not going to sell their domains in auction places and or forums and all that kind of stuff. So we're just kind of pulling everyone into one place, and hopefully we're going to give you some great deals on some really good domains, because that's how most people rank in OMG, is by using PBNs. And if we can save some money, it's going to be a really good deal for you guys, I think. So don't laugh at my sales letter, because I built it all myself. But Todd, you're on too right now?
I think so. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah, I can hear you. Okay, cool. So what Juicy Domains right now we have 3 different plans, and you can test it out. And for anyone on this webinar, we do have a 25% off for life plan. So you just sign up and cancel it at any time if you don't like it or whatever. And but as long as you use that code, you're only paying 25% of any of these prices. Okay, so. And these analysis credits are for not buying domains, but they're actually just for analyzing, because we have the ability to analyze the domains right within the Juicy domains itself. So you can just analyze any like hidden domain or even an auction domain or expired, and you can just look at the backlinks right in from the system. So
yeah, I think the point is, Derek, just to mention. Yeah. That we use credits because we're pulling data from a Majestic and Moz and some other places that cost money, obviously, to pull the data. But what it's doing is you don't have to buy those subscriptions to those services, and those are anywhere between $70 and $150 a month. Because within the system itself, we allow you to analyze the backlinks and anchors, which is all you're using those services for anyway, for the most part, on the most basic level.
So let me ask you guys this question. This is where someone could pick up some Amazon PBNs to help rank their listings with that, correct?
Yeah, for
Absolutely.
sure. A great way, go to the topical categories and just type in shopping. And, well, I guess we could just start. First of all, Derek, yeah, go ahead and put shopping in there, but let's switch this to user added and juicy domains. Okay, so what we're doing now is only showing the domains in our system that are expired, and you can register for $10. And he's putting in a minimum trust flow of 10 and a minimum referring domains of 10. And that's kind of just a minimum of what we like to look at in order for a domain to even be considered, worthy of being in our network. Derek, go ahead and drop off those domain sources, everything except for juicy domains. Oh, you already applied?
It only shows those ones.
It's only going
to show those ones.
Basically, guys, I just want to make it clear to everyone understand. This is almost like Register Compass on crack. Basically,
exactly.
you're like scanning every possible thing. I see drop list, Dynadot, GoDaddy, Namejet, CDO, Snap names, and you also what can you explain what the crawled is? Does this do crawling as well?
Yeah, the crawl domains are what we call juicy domains. Mm-hmm. And those are domains that ourselves and some of our affiliates crawl the entire internet and look for these high-powered expired domains. And then we scrape them, we bring them back in, we analyze them, we kick out as much spam as we possibly can, we check all their metrics, and they got to pass a lot of filters before they can even enter the system. And that's kind of what you're seeing right now. So it's all the types of domains that are even possible to use as in a private blog network. And on top of that, you're able to analyze backlinks and anchors all from within the system.
Well, I'm going to be honest with you. I've never seen anything like this before. Normally we have someone trying to sell a scraper, and then we have someone trying to sell you looking at all these other sources to pull in from. But you guys have even brought in a third one from what I'm understanding, which is you're also bringing in all the brokers to sell their domains on there. So there's really nothing that you've left uncovered. You have everything from every domain source. You're scraping, which is what's called juicy domains. And you have a number of domain brokers that are going to be placing domains in there for sale. So technically, you wouldn't really need to go anywhere else to pick up anything, would you?
I don't.
Right.
Yeah,
Pretty crazy.
The true benefit is professional scraper people. Like we have the affiliates that that's all they do is they have 5-6 servers, and we have 5 servers as well scraping at the same time. And it's just not economical for the average person to run 5 scrapers at a time and to just get a few domains. So why not just join the club? It's going to be a lot better. You're going to find a lot better domains, and also people are having problems that they're finding seed sets and doing all this. It's very complicated, and instead we have people that are trained and they're just so much better at it and more effective at doing it. So
I was just going to say, I think the biggest problem with trying to be your own scraper, and I've done it, still do it, but at first you're just overwhelmed with the amount of data that you end up obtaining and having to oh gosh, run all the checks on that and all the lookups and all the metrics and all the polishing and just you name it. It's a tough job. Luckily, we have on board here in Juicy a gentleman by the name of Michael Cox, who has been putting. He started working on some tutorials up here on the top right-hand corner. I want to point out Juicy TV. So when you do become a member, please check that box there for tutorial videos. But as I was saying, I have a professional scraper on board named Michael Cox, and he's done a phenomenal job at helping us aggregate this data, collect it, store it, perform all the function on it. So a lot of experience has gone in behind the scenes here.
And then the best part about it is we get these questions. They can also go by topical categories also, which we've just put in shopping. They can pretty much find anything they want and have you guys professionally go out and scrape it as well.
Yeah, that's absolutely correct.
Wow.
Yeah, so I mean, stuff. Yeah, like we still do all the regular stuff, so we do still have the auctions, and so I mean, you don't have to have a registered compass and then have us, you know, so we can solve both of those problems at the same time. But I mean, just being able to get these domains that don't show up anywhere else, you know, it's just these ones are they either went through auction or they just missed an auction, or it's the best thing about these is we're crawling quality sources and we're finding these domains from the quality links and then finding the expired instead of the other way around where other people are finding expired and trying to find good quality domains, which you're sorting through, you know, millions and millions of expired domains. It just takes it's forever, right? And so you're paying. I mean, these are like this one's $40, this one's $30, and this is you're paying for the time and effort it went into those, and you know it's only this one person that has it and knows about it, right? So you're paying to find the gold, basically.
Derek, we have a good question. Guys, I know why, but I want you to explain it in your own words. They want to know why that the domain names are blocked out. I know why, but I'd like for you to explain.
Yeah, it's essentially just what I said. Go ahead, Don.
I was just going to say that the reason why they're start out is because these domains are available to be registered for $10 or cheaper if you have coupons or whatever. So we started the domain names out so everyone just can't come and just steal them, right? Because we have a lot of resources into finding them and sorting through all the junk because it does take a lot of horsepower. I mean, if you're a powerful scraper, you know, you wind up with, you know, several million domains, and then you got to sort through the good from the bad. So what we've done here is we've priced these domains. We call it the reveal price. And this is basically the price to go ahead and click on one of those start out domains for me real quick, Derek. And you'll see right here that after you click on it, now you have the opportunity to reveal it. And then once you reveal it, we just checked it as well to make sure it was available. So if you hit OK, you reveal it, and all the stars go away, and you know exactly what it is. It ends up in your My Domains account. And then you just simply go register it right away at your favorite registrar. And that's why they're start out. The other thing that Derek just did is he's adding this to the research lab. I think if you'll go ahead and do that, we'll show you one more step that you really have to do for all domains that you're looking to purchase, whether it's a crawl domain or if it's a domain at auction or if it's the pending domain or anything like that. You really still need to research the backlinks and anchors and make sure you're not buying something that is too spammy, right? Because there are some domains in here that you know, will be spammy. They will have, you know, tons of Asian anchor text, or they might even slip through with, you know, the fake handbag anchor text. But this is exactly what you have to do. You know, if you want to go buy an $80 a month account at Majestic to view all your domains that you're going to bid on at auction, then that's what you're going to do. So these kinds of domains, the great thing about them is there's no competition. You're not bidding against someone on them. You're just being the first to reveal it and register it. But in the same time, like I said, you still have to analyze it and make sure that the backlinks and anchors are something that you know, you're willing to spend your money on. Now, I know that within OMG, Greg Morrison does a fantastic job of teaching all of you what to look for and what to watch out for, and what is considered spam and what's not considered spam. And then once you do this for a little while, you kind of get your own understanding of what you feel is spam or too spammy. It might be different from what someone else thinks is spam or too spammy. So we'll just put the power with you. You get to decide whether or not you're comfortable with that or not, just by doing what Derek's doing here, running the research lab. And here in just a minute, what that just did is it went out and reanalyzed every single metric that you see in front of you. That way, you're not buying something that's been in our database for like a week, and then some of the anchors maybe have changed, right? Some of the metrics may have changed. It happens because Majestic and Moz and Ahrefs, they update their databases. And, they say once a month or once a week, or hell, I think it's at random most of the time. I can't ever get a good handle on it. But nonetheless, we check all of the metrics again right here, right now, so it does take a minute. And then once you've done that, you'll be able to see the backlinks and anchors and exactly what they are, and then decide whether or not you're comfortable bidding or buying. I'm sorry, not bidding or buying on this particular domain, but actually just using the real. So right here, right now, we just picked one up. And what we're looking at now is exactly what you would see if you were logged into Majestic. The only thing you don't see is we still use a lot of stars on here because obviously we don't want, it'd be too easy for someone to jump in here, do all this, and go and register everything out from underneath us and take everything away. So what you're seeing right now is the metrics from the incoming backlinks to this target domain that we're analyzing. And this one, I see a lot of zeros on the page already. I'm not real comfortable with only seeing 2 double-digit metrics on top. So I personally would look at the price again on this, but probably would skip it. Derek, if you'll scroll down to the bottom and close that and go to the anchor text real quick. View analyzed anchors. Okay, again, the stars just means they're using the anchor text the same as the domain name. All right, so just know that they're using a branded or a naked link to your site. Now, that's a whole lot better than seeing cheap handbags or one of the 3 Ps, porn, pills, or poker. Right? You probably don't want to stay away from that unless you're in one of those industries or you know exactly what you're doing.
Great.
So this tells you right away what you're looking at and whether or not you want to reject the domain, which means rejecting it just simply takes it out of your research lab right here. Or we also give you the opportunity to go ahead and mark that domain as spam, because some of them are going to be really obvious that they are considered spam, and that doesn't mean there's nothing that you can do with a spam domain. And we don't really have time on this webinar to go over those things, and I know a lot of you probably aren't familiar enough with spam domains to even consider buying them at this time. So you can also mark them as spam. We'll review that back on the administrative side, and if it's okay, we are going to make a marketplace for spam domains just in case there's. I know there's people on here that know what to do with those as well.
Guys, I think everyone at this point wants to know how they can join. I mean, everyone's anxious to get aboard.
Yeah, and we do have live support, and for right now, especially when you're just starting out, you can just click on here, and you can actually just say, I'm not sure if I want to check this, buy this domain or whatever. There's a unique identifier under each of these right here, and that's going to actually identify the domain to us, and we can actually do more analysis on it and look at the Wayback Machine and any snapshots of it and make sure it hasn't been spammed in any other forms. Because, checking the Wayback is important to make sure it wasn't a PBN, and we're here to help you. So it's not like you're not going to be buying this thing blind. You're actually getting my eyes on a PBN, and I'm going to tell you if it's good or bad. So from there, then you just buy it, reveal the domain, and then it's a quick link to Namecheap, and it's done. So.
But I will say this, guys. If you're looking at the backlinks and anchors, and it looks pretty good, and then the trust flow looks good. The referring domains looks pretty good. Someone else can buy that at any moment in time. I just want to give that fair warning. So yeah, I'm going to go ahead.
We do checks even before when you're purchasing it. It's checking to see if it is still available. So it's not like you're going to get the rug pulled out from underneath you.
Right. Yeah. This day and age, we're about 99% on the availability check. We're not very off on that at all anymore. It's difficult to do when you're talking about millions of domains per hour, but I think we've got it down pretty good. I just wanted to mention to everyone that I'm about to drop the link and a coupon code in your chat box, and it's basically just juicydomains.com. Pick whichever plan you want, and the coupon code is 25 off Juicy. Now, when you're
reoccurring, sorry.
Yeah, that is recurring, and everyone's going to ask me, well, which one do I want? Well, it really depends on kind of how many you're ready to buy, get going on, right? Because each account comes with a certain number of monthly credits. You see up here at 210 on the top of Derek's screen here, monthly credits. So you're going to use, Derek, will you go back to, if you could add another domain to your research lab, I'll show you sort of how many credits you're going to use per lookup, and then you can sort of see how much it costs. It's really not that much. You're still going to be able to analyze hundreds of domains. It just depends on how many hundreds are you going to be going after, right?
Yeah.
That's really the only difference there. Most people start with the Juicy, but a lot of people have been getting agency lately because you just get that much more looking at your domains. And don't forget, guys, you can also search and sort all of the auctions. Every single day we upload fresh data from all of the auctions, and you're able to, there's always still good domains found at auctions. They're just going to be more expensive because more people are looking at them, right? But I hope that you'll be one that can do it faster and easier by using what we've created for you here. Now, Derek's going to click on, he's selected both of those to research. Now, as you can see, right here, we're going to analyze 10 backlinks and 10 acres, and it's only 20 credits. Okay, now you can come back on that, go to 5, Derek. Usually, most of the time, you're going to see the spam using 5 and 5. I normally do, okay? But 10's always good to dig a little bit deeper, and you can also go down to 20 as well. I don't recommend going over 20 because, again, the only thing we're really concerned about right here is a spammy anchor text, right? That's really the telltale, and that's all you're going to be using Majestic for anyway when you run over there and pop them in there.
Yeah, and also if someone else has already researched it, we're not going to use your credits. So if it's been in the last 7 days, it's already cached data, and therefore your credits are safe. So, and plus, if you're using more of auction domains, you still have the quick links to just use your Majestic, and so you don't have to use any credits at all. But this is specifically for hidden domains because we need to keep that information locked up. So.
Sounds great.
Todd, you want to talk about anything else, or?
I don't know. I guess questions. Can we split? Yes, Pedro. If you want to upgrade later, just contact me or Derek at support, and someone will roll you up to a higher plan and give you the same discount. We'll do that for you guys.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to leave this this code, this sign up, and the coupon code running for the next 24 hours. So you'll have until tomorrow night. SSL protected, yes it is. James, we do all the processing pretty much in the background. You'll only have to do your credit card data once, and then it'll just remember it, and it'll always transact to that. Can you sort by country-specific domains? Yes, you can. We do have a TLD sorter. Custom scraping is a product that we're working on right now that's available to agency users, but it's not ready yet. But what we're working on right now is the ability for you to give us a particular keyword, and what we'll do is we'll go out to the internet and generate a cool seed list based on that keyword, and then we'll scrape the internet looking for domains that have links from, the top 100 sites at Google for the last 10 years. That's kind of how it's done. A little tip there. And then, then we'll give you that set that comes out.
Mm-hmm. And remember, this is beta, and we really do want your feedback on everything, because everything we respond and build, we try to make the system the best as we can, and it's heavily reliant on what you guys want, and especially because you're all in the OMG community, we're going to do our best to comply with everything possible, right? So every day we're adding features more and more and more, so 6 months from now, it's probably going to look like completely different from now. But.
Yeah, we put in probably about 8 updates today.
Yeah.
8 different things.
Guys, you want to know if credits carry over monthly?
No, they don't, because we're actually we're getting charged on Majestic credits, and so they don't roll over, so we can't roll them over either. All right, so these are all API pools.
Great. I think someone's phone's ringing.
Answer.
Yeah.
Sorry.
But if you have, so like this one here, these are all GoDaddy and auctions and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So these ones you can still just do quick links and go right to your Majestic tab right here, and then you can still just look at the same way you're used to. So, and we also provide little quick screenshots, so you can see a history of these. These are the auction type domains. Everyone explained on my internet speed, so it's. But you can always use these, and these are a really good telltale. And this is the stuff that we're doing for you on the hidden domains. So we're going to check and just make sure that you communicate with us, especially if you're not used to buying domains that are hidden like this. So, but it's pretty much industry standard for brokers to hide their domains. So it's kind of the way we have to do it.
Right. Guys, can you go ahead and drop that link in there one more time? I want to make sure everyone got it.
Sure.
And also the code, people are asking for that. They didn't get it.
I got it right here.
Great.
Good. Put it back in.
Sweet.
Sorry, guys. A minute ago, that was someone ringing me on the sales page wanting to chat. I had to mute that. So whomever that is, just hang with me for a second, and I'll get to your question on the chat.
Great. Guys, looks like we've kind of exhausted up the questions. I thoroughly recommend this. This is the most complete PBN resource that I can think of at the moment. There is nothing that offers this out there. It's very unique. Everyone is missing a piece of what you guys have. It's very complete. So this definitely, guys, has my 100% endorsement on it. And guys, you know, Derek is always trusted. He's on here. Very good friends with Todd. He puts out Spider Spanker. You know, his, setting up his hosting is bar none the best. So guys, you're getting a quality product here. You don't even need to worry about that. It's just the fact of it is, if you want a complete thing, we've had some other questions of how this compares to other things. It doesn't. There is no other program out there that is this thorough with PBNs. So that's just where we're at with this. So
Todd, that coupon only works with credit card and debit right now, right?
Yeah, I'm sorry, guys. I forgot to mention that the 25 off is only currently working for credit card and debit card. I don't have a way to interact that with PayPal at the moment, but I'll see what we can do tomorrow. But it just doesn't have a way to do that.
Great. Well, guys, I greatly appreciate you guys giving us a first shot to look at this. I know you haven't let anyone else's eyes on it yet, and always great to have you guys inside the community of OMG and giving us a first look at everything to get the advantage over everyone else as we do with everything. So, guys, give Derek and Todd a thank you. And please, guys, if you're looking for PBNs and if you want to make it easy on yourself, this seems to be, I just wish this was around when I first started up. My life would have been a whole lot easier because I had to go out and manually do all this myself. So it's amazing stuff.
Yeah, and, just buying in auctions, I was getting sick of paying $100, $200 for a PBN. It's just
sure.
ridiculous after a while. Spend $20,000, $30,000 a year.
Absolutely. So guys, we appreciate it. Please, guys, sign up if you get an opportunity, especially if you're new. Guys, right now it's in beta, just offering it to OMG. And thank Derek and Todd. Guys, next week we'll be back. If you have more questions about this, we'll be able to handle it. Derek's got a thread in the Facebook group. Ask all your questions there. He'll be able to handle it about GC domains or title handle it as well. So send all your questions over there, and they'll be more than happy to pick them up in the Facebook thread. And next week, guys, we're going to be back with, fact or fiction. So stay tuned, and we will see you all, guys, next week.
Thanks, Cotton. Thanks, everybody.
Sure.
See you guys later.